Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
All right, 3,
All right.
2, 1.
Is the mic good if I just favor it to me and then he's pretty loud as you can
Yeah,
tell.
it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. All right, guys. All right, guys. We are live. We're just a little late. Literally came back from the airport. We've got, of course, the fam in the house. We've got Andy in the house. We got Ace in the house.
Yeah.
Andy, of course, we've been wanting to hook up with you forever. I'm super excited about having you here. Of course, totally famed shark cinematographer.
That's right.
Been all over the world. It's got to be crazy, your experiences.
It's unreal, and it's great to be here. And I know at the last minute I decided to bring my son Ace. He can be pretty loud, but he's gonna behave himself and jump in when you need him.
No, it's fine. If he wants to jump in at any time.
I could go on
You can go on a long way.
I could go on American Got Talent, and I could just say, I could scream extremely loud and just
that would be your talent. Your talent is to scream really loud.
Listen here. So
There's no problem,
we're gonna keep kicking off with a podcast here, but he can scream really loud.
Well, it's a good talent to have. It's so cool. So obviously I've been talking to my family, Lori and Noah, about you forever. Sure. So it's so cool to have you here. And again, our worlds are different but the same in a lot of ways. I mean, I dedicate myself and we dedicate ourselves to reptiles and other animals, but you're a shark guy. So you might want to move Mike a little closer because you just felt a little bit far away. But I'd love to hear so how long? Listen, I've got a million questions to ask you, and you guys can jump in anytime.
Oh yeah,
but
I have a few questions
so
too.
how long have you been doing what made? How did you get into sharks? I mean, did you start filming right away, or did you just dive with them first?
I actually am a filmmaker by total accident.
Really?
I never planned to become a filmmaker. It happened by total mistake.
Oh wow.
The only reason I work with sharks is because I fell in love with them. I think upon birth.
Really?
Honestly, the first time I ever saw sharks was on television, and it literally changed my life. I first thought they were fake because your parents tell you to not believe everything you see on TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were kind of make believe.
Yeah.
But then the more films and documentaries I watched, quickly I learned that they were real, and they were these real world sea monsters that were actually alive.
Yeah.
And I was just fascinated by them. So that kicked off I wanted to be a marine biologist. I went to college for marine bio my first year. After my first year, I changed majors immediately after seeing marine bio grads on their 4th and 5th and 6th year in grad school, and they're still in labs studying.
You're I want to be out in the wild, man.
I need to be in the water. I need to be close to these animals much faster than that.
Yeah.
So I changed my major to photojournalism.
Oh, okay.
Then I changed it to psychology, and then when I got out of college, I worked in software. I got my Microsoft Certified Systems Engineering certificate.
Look at you, man. Jeez.
And then, and then from that point, when I was working in the software company, I learned to scuba dive in Monterey, California.
Okay.
I lost my dive master and my dive buddy on my first open ocean dive.
Oh, great. So you were alone. You're where am I at? Oh, my gosh.
My mind drifted off I was just thinking about sharks, and I was supposed to wait while they did their, their exercises.
Right.
Underwater, skill set. And I just lost track and was more interested in looking for sharks, and then lost them all. But anyway, long story short.
Wait a second. This was were you already certified, or this was your open water certification?
Open water certification.
So you're going for your open water certification when you're supposed to do all of the things to get your certificate, and you lost your dive master.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I told them
go.
why. I told them because I was looking for great white sharks.
And I'm a vegetarian. I love animals. I don't kill them. But I still eat some eggs and cheese, just I don't like eating meat.
That's good. Well, I tell you what,
great
buddy.
segue, all right? Timing, Ace. Popping in with those. Yeah. So, anyway, I moved to Cape Town. I volunteered for a great white shark research team. I was doing dorsal fin identification. Every great white has a unique dorsal fin.
Oh, wow.
And it was really interesting to get to know the sharks closer. And during that time, National Geographic came to make a documentary about the research we were doing, and offered me a job working at NatGeo, eating pizza. No, it is good. The pizza.
Yeah, you gotta eat. You gotta eat. So, and that's Cape Town is probably one of the greatest success stories when it comes to great white sharks, right? Because before they were hunting them like crazy into almost extinction over there, and then they realized there was actually more money in ecotourism to put people in cages and actually dive with them, right?
Right. I mean, there's a couple ways to look at it. They made it illegal to kill great whites in 1991.
Okay.
And then suddenly you had these trophy hunter fishermen that knew how to find, catch, and kill great whites, but now it was illegal, so it only made sense to find and cage dive with them instead of kill them. So yeah, it was kind of fortuitous or whatever.
Now I know that, and again, I'm going to ask you probably some stupid questions too, because I'm not an expert. But I know that I've heard that sharks have kind of disappeared. Great whites have disappeared off of Cape Town.
Yeah, there's weird stuff going on in South Africa. Like that, it's a mix of overfishing, killer whales, like climate change, whatever you want to call it. It's a mix of the sharks are just not at their ultimate hunting grounds where they used to be. Like the Super Bowl arena of great white sharks hunting seals. There's no great white sharks there anymore in the past 5 years.
What?
Air Jaws, all the Shark Week shows where you see the sharks jumping out of the water. Yeah. All those sharks are no longer in False Bay, and nobody really knows why.
And they know where they're at?
I think it's a mix of overfishing. Some of them have moved up the coast. Some of them have just moved on. Nobody really knows. Not all of them are tagged in.
Isn't it amazing that this much, we know so much about things, but we know nothing about the ocean, right?
Oh.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you spend your life in the ocean, and still we know nothing, right?
They're always talking about how we know what, I forget, more about space than we do our oceans.
Right.
Even tonight, there's the SpaceX launch.
Yeah, which we're watching it live. We gotta watch it. You guys it's at 8:00, so just after. So shout out to Elon Musk.
Is this the one with the civilians?
All civilian crew.
Wow.
And they say that so I saw an interview about this. It was pretty interesting. Yeah, Jay, I know you're probably busy, but we're gonna watch it, man. You gotta hang out.
That's so sick.
But interestingly enough, I saw a thing, again, shout out to Elon Musk, with the NASA director where they said, well, is it really the first civilian flight? Because we had, Bezos went in and blah, blah. And he said they actually didn't go to orbit.
Yeah.
He said they went to the very edge of space. He said it lasted about 15 minutes. He said this is the first actual... Like they're actually space. I mean, they're going. As a matter of fact, it's funny because what was the name of the guy? Is it Jared? Right?
Yeah.
Jared. Yeah, the guy. So he actually wanted to go above the space station even with the flight because he wanted to make it like, a statement like, hey, we can do this. This is an amazing inspiration. So, and they're actually going for 3 days.
Yeah, 3 full days. This isn't a 5-minute adventure.
I know, it's crazy.
So it was above the space station.
Yeah, they're going above the space station.
We're going further than the freaking space station.
Yeah, they're going above the space station. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So when was the first time you got in with sharks? You said, when did you get this? When did you lose your dive master? How old were you?
I was 20. No, it was in 2000, and I was born in 1977.
Okay,
so whatever that math is.
23. 23. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, 23.
Pretty
Let's see,
right.
carry the one. So that's wild. And so you went in. By the way, can I tell you my dive story?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you. Do you? Because you work with all types of animals.
Yeah. So
Are you officially certified?
So I went to PADI certification, but I didn't get my open water because I kind of freaked out.
What?
I got down to like just 30 feet, not that far, and I had like an ear thing go on. I got vertigo. Had to do kind of an emergency, up to the top.
Where?
And this was just in open water in Ohio. It wasn't like in the ocean or anything like that. It was in a quarry out there, and yeah, I freaked out, man. It's like I did all the closed water stuff, obviously, just a 15-foot pool. It was great. As a matter of fact, my dive master was like, man, you're like, everyone's like sucking oxygen like crazy, right? And I like hardly used any oxygen. He's like, my gosh, you're going to be great for this. He said, you don't even hardly breathe, And I was just like keeping my, but then I got in the open water. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. I go down, descend. And there's on like a platform. It's like probably maybe 100 feet deep, but there's a 30-foot platform.
Okay.
And I get on that platform, it's kind of swaying a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's March. Oh, wow. So the reason I wanted to get certified was because I was doing a doco in South Africa, and I wanted to dive off of Durban with bull sharks. Oh, cool. And so that was the whole reason why I was doing it, because I love sharks. Right. So, that's my. So I need you to help me get over my fear, because I think I could go out with you and feel comfortable.
I can help.
It was just, it was just the one time that you went down, had the vertigo thing, and then went back up.
Yeah, and I never went back.
Never went back. And how long ago was that?
It was like it was how long ago? 5 years ago? 6 years ago?
More than that, yeah.
Maybe
Something
around
like
there.
that, yes.
Yeah.
Or
Now I
7.
will say I did have ear surgery after that.
That's what I was
because
gonna
I
ask.
had an ear issue with my eustachian tube, so maybe that had something to do with it regulating my things. But
okay, but how soon was the surgery and the diving?
well, so I had an issue with my ear where I had like maybe 80% hearing loss in my ear for years. And then I did the like it was probably 3, 4, 5 years I had messed up ear, did the diving, and then like a year later I got the surgery.
Okay.
So
yeah, you definitely got to do it again. I mean,
know.
you
think
can't.
so.
I
Well,
mean,
see-
it's just something.
yeah, I love sharks so much. You know, that's the whole. I don't even care about diving as much as I love shark. I've been fascinated with sharks since I was a kid, like you.
Right.
And that's the only reason I ever wanted to dive was to dive with sharks.
I mean, you could go to much shallower. You could go to the Bahamas where you're in like 20 feet, to 15, 10 feet of water.
Yeah, that's more my.
Bulls,
That's
hammers,
probably
tigers.
That's probably my speed to begin with.
That would
Me
be
too.
fun.
Yeah. So yeah, we got to do that sometime. So anyway, so back up a second here. You lost your dive master. You finally. I'm assuming you got your PADI
Yeah, I
certification.
got a question on that. So, did they pass you, or that was a big?
Oh
fail?
yeah, I'm dramatizing a bit. I mean, I did lose them, but the anyway, that was just how I learned to dive.
Yeah.
All of my real shark diving experience came in South Africa, came in Australia, came in when I started working for National Geographic. They sent me around the world to not just work on shark films, but king cobra films, killer whales, great white sharks, grizzly bears, 5 different lion films. I met my wife Emma on a lion film in Tanzania in the Serengeti.
Dang, I gotta go to Tanzania.
That's where you
we
can
were
meet your
just
wife.
in Tanzania.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just in Tanzania. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Have you been to Africa?
No, I haven't. We want to go in
Gotta
November.
go.
Yeah,
in
I
November.
want if the world allows
Yeah.
the end of November, we're gonna go.
Yeah, I've never been, but I want to.
Yeah.
Really bad.
If the world allows to go, where would? Because you could go now. You can get into South Africa pretty easily.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the South Africa thing is pretty. I guess for me, it's just me getting over my fear of traveling out of the country. You know, especially I'm sure you lived in Cape Town, so you know South Africa's a little weird. You know, I mean, it's a great country,
dangerous.
but it's dangerous. I almost got killed there once. So,
Oh, wow.
So I won't tell that story. I've told it many times, so it doesn't matter. Point is, I almost got killed in South Africa.
By an animal?
No, by an animal, a person,
People.
yeah,
wow,
Homo
you gotta
sapien.
tell that story.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
You can
It's just
tell the
qu-
abbreviated
Just
version.
Yeah, hit him with a summary.
I've told it on the podcast before. So basically, what happened was I was driving from Durban to Johannesburg at night. My car got sabotaged with a big chunk of steel in the road.
Oh my God.
Went, and then got surrounded by people. 4 guys surrounded us. Went into a gas station. Thankfully, I had some local friends I called that was pretty connected, and took them about maybe 12 to 15 minutes to get there. And that 12 or 15 minutes, literally, I was on the phone with Lori saying I was going to die, so everything, all kinds of stuff. And
was
so
nice.
so thankfully,
Great
my
call.
friend, a tow truck driver showed up. That was a friend of my friend because he was about 40 minutes away. He's like, hey, I know a guy about 10, 12 minutes away. He'll be there in a minute. He's like, stay in there. Don't go out. Do not let them drag you outside, whatever you do. And so we literally just about the time when we may have actually gotten drugged out, the guy came in, with a gun and was like, Brian. I was like, right over here. And the guys went running out. And then the tow truck driver literally said that every week someone gets killed in that parking lot. Every week.
Holy
He
shit.
see at least once a week someone's killed in this parking lot. So
You think
so
they
it
would
was,
move the steel
Yeah.
every week?
Wow.
Just ban that parking lot.
Yeah, they just banned the whole
Another
thing.
good idea.
But I was, in all fairness, I was told by everyone, including I think Heidi is probably on there. She's one of our mods. She was here. Every single friend of mine from South Africa said, do not make that drive alone at night. They're like, don't drive at night. Do it in the day. But I was going to meet up with a guy with some gigantic crocodiles at like 7 a.m. in Johannesburg. So to me, it was worth the drive. I was like, I got to make it to Joburg. I got to see these crocodiles, So, yeah. But I'm alive, man. So it's all good.
Good. Any near-death experiences for you?
Just meeting me.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. How did you guys meet?
How did we meet, Lori?
We met at a party.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Right out of high school.
It was her
Oh, wow.
18th birthday. Her 18th birthday we met, and ask her what impression I made on her. What impression did I make?
So it was a party, and there was some partying going on. So the reality is, I did not remember meeting him.
Yeah, so she didn't remember me at all. Not at all. We hung out, and she still didn't remember me at all. So.
And you told your mom.
I did tell this is a true story, Andy. I told my mom that night that I met the woman I wanted to marry.
Oh, wow.
Dead serious.
And she remembers vividly. Yeah.
She remembered. I made a great impression.
He fell in love with drunk Lori.
Yeah.
She makes quite the impression.
Yeah, and she hasn't been sober since.
I'm not drunk. I am not drunk. I do not drink alcohol.
Good to know.
So when it comes to sharks, I mean, I find it interesting. You went from like, okay, I was diving, I did this, now I'm out with NatGeo. Like that just doesn't, they don't just call some random guy. How does that come about?
Well, the research team I was working with was a well-known research team, and they were down there making a documentary about the research. And I was starting to dive out of the cage with the great whites and do different things, and they're just like, hey, would you like to work at National Geographic? I'm like, yeah, it sounds amazing. Yeah. So it's just kind of like right place at the right time, but also, I mean, it's like anything else. I was a self-taught shark researcher, self-taught cameraman, self-taught producer, self-taught dad.
Wow.
We're all kind of self-taught.
Yeah,
Did
sure.
you go to snake wrangler school?
Yeah. You know, I didn't.
What's your background?
Yeah. Same thing.
So it's really cool to just have that VIP backstage pass when you do work for someone like National Geographic, where you can you work with an expert like Ram, someone who's like devoted their whole life or is an expert in something for 50 years. In a 48-hour period, they've like download all this amazing information to you, and you're working in these under their permits in these amazing locations, and it's just a really cool learning experience and a way to vicariously share it with other people. But yeah, I was just kind of thrown into it, and it's been amazing ever since.
So it started with NatGeo, but of course you do a lot with different networks as well. I mean, you're a big player with Discovery Shark Week, obviously. I've seen you on it, obviously not just behind the camera, but you're a part of Shark Week. Yeah. So how long have you been working with Discovery?
My first Shark Week thing was in 2005.
2005, so quite a while.
2005, what is it now? Yeah. And that was in South Africa. I'm trying to think if I've ever been almost killed in South Africa. I have.
Everyone has.
Drowned in South Africa probably a few times. Not Ace.
No. Do you like South Africa?
I think I do. I did not get killed there.
That's good.
So yeah, and also at Florida, there's just tons of people smoking. But when we're on bike rides, I'm just like. The smoking's bad for your lungs, so please stop. And they're like, thank you. And I'm like, you're welcome. And I'm just like,
you'll thank me later.
I saved you. Like, I'll give out autographs later.
He's pretty good.
I'll give out autographs later.
That is awesome. Part of working on Shark Week, at least, is you get a chance to work with a lot of celebrities. I mean, I know that you've worked with some crazy people. Tell me some of those. I mean, who's the coolest person you think you worked with?
The coolest. I think Shaquille O'Neal was really cool.
Oh gosh, I've heard this.
I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah, nothing but
larger than life, literally, obviously.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
They had to like sew, I think, 3 wetsuits together to get one to fit him. And they couldn't find any fins that would fit him, so they just took his big basketball shoes and bolted them to some long blades, some long diving fins.
That'd be me.
You know, it's crazy because we know a few people that know Shaq, and everybody I know that knows him says what an amazing person he is.
Yeah, he's really funny.
Yeah.
He takes like the lowest person in the room, and he'll talk to them or put his arm around them, and like he's very joking, but he's also a professional. I remember there was a time where in the opening sequence of the Shark Week show, he's walking down the dock in the Bahamas. He's like, hey, I'm Shaquille O'Neal. You know, Discovery called me, told me it was Shaq Week. I thought I was hosting Shaq Week, but it doesn't exist. It was, an Australian executive, Shaq Week. Anyway, and he comes around, and the director told me when Shaq hits that mark, and he's pointing at a mark on a plank on the dock, He's like, you step in and hand him the seal decoy and say, Shaq, here's your seal decoy. Because it's the opening of the show, and it's a dream sequence. Yep. So anyway, Shaq's walking down, saying his thing. He hits that plank. I step in. I'm like, Shaq. But Shaq was still talking. Like, he was still doing his line. But I don't know. I just thought he said when he hit that mark, I should come in. So I do that. And Shaq's like, don't you ever step on my lines. And everyone go, it's like crickets. And then Shaq starts laughing like he grabs my head like a grape. And then everyone else in the whole set starts laughing, but it was crickets at first.
Yeah, first like, oh my God, did I just screw it up?
Come on, Spielberg. He kept calling the director Spielberg.
That's awesome.
And he was really nice, but we did it again, and it was a funny sequence. He's basically walking down the dock. I give him the decoy. He holds it up. His arm then gets bitten off.
Yep, I remember that. Yeah.
And then he wakes up from a dream. And he was always worried about. He said he was genuinely worried about sharks. Shark attacks because he just always thought it would be delicious.
Oh, jeez.
So, he's hilarious. Dude. He is a funny guy.
It seems that way. This year.
I was swimming with sharks. I've been with one in the cage when I was 4 years old.
4 years old. So, is that the young? Do you think that's the youngest caged great white shark diver?
It could be the youngest great white shark cage diver.
What?
4 years old.
I don't know. Check the world record now.
So you actually, interesting enough. Listen, you do these cinematographers. Tell me what it's called. The Guadalupe Island
Cinema Science.
Science. Thank you very much. Sounds amazing. How many do you do a year? Tell me about those.
So I started out not wanting to do any. It's basically take people out to see great white sharks, teach them about some of the tagging technology, some of the science behind and the research that's done on the animals out there and in Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. And the diving out there is ridiculous. And the filming opportunities are amazing, and it's the best great white. It's like great white sharks in a swimming pool. It's almost too good, the visibility.
Really?
But yeah, I started out doing one, and now I run about 4 a year.
Wow.
I ran 2 in August. August, I never saw this many great whites out there. I would be literally looking at it like 7 and thinking like, oh my God, this is such an amazing shot. And I'd look over and I'd get startled by 3 that were much closer to the cage. Right there, also interacting with each other.
Wow.
And I got another 3 expeditions coming up in October.
Oh, so it's
next month.
Wow, holy cow.
So are you noticing these sharks acting different right now in this time of our lives? Because you're saying they're moving.
We missed them. Last year was a miss year, almost a year and a half miss because of COVID. It's almost like they missed us. Because there is provisioning going on there. Humans have been feeding sharks at ecotourism sites, at places where they feed crocodiles, anywhere where humans and wild predators, non-captive animals that are then. So these sharks were like in full effect, like, hey, we missed you.
Yeah, you guys are back. Yeah,
that's cool.
And actually seeing these animals hunt or activate on the baits, they've gotten way better at it.
Really?
They no longer chase them into the boats. They come from behind the boats and they let the bait handlers pull the baits right into their mouths.
Oh my gosh.
They've got it worked out like clockwork.
That's crazy. So the only thing that listen, I would love to go, but
and if you're going, I'm going.
But tell me how far offshore this is.
So it is far offshore. It's like
so I can't see California.
Hours.
Then is what you're saying.
18 hours
offshore.
18 to 20.
That's way further than I would have expected.
You're on a liveaboard boat. You're on a liveaboard boat.
Yeah, because there's no provisions, right? I mean, the island you can't get up on the island.
Yeah, so you're on a liveaboard. There's a bar on the boat. There's lots of beer, wine, margaritas. There's plenty of good food.
Wait, do they have a root beer?
They do have root beer. Look,
yeah,
he's got root beer right there.
I actually love root beer.
Oh, well, I'll get you one after. I got you. So, how many people go on this boat?
So I've been working with that. I've worked now with 4 different boats. The first boat took 20. Second boat took 22. Third boat, the newest one in October takes 30 people.
And is that 30 cabins or you bunk together?
It's more like 15 cabins.
Okay.
Like 2 people each. There is a triple as well, but they don't even use that. It's for if you have a government observer or a VIP or something like that.
Gotcha. And so it's 18 hours offshore. How long are you there for?
You are on the boat for I think 5 days.
So spend about 3 days there.
Maybe 6 days, 4 nights, 5 nights, 6 days. I got to check it out. But you basically fly to what most people do is fly to California, bus from San Diego down to Ensenada, where you get on the boat, jump on the boat, go to Guadalupe. It's like an overnight sail. Get to the island like that, whatever, on anchor that night. Wake up the next morning. Do 3 days of shark diving.
Wow.
And then sail back that last day into Ensenada. Jump back on a shuttle or a bus or a car, or whatever you want. And then come back across the border, and there you are. I did 2 trips just last month.
Sheesh.
And they were
good. But your sea legs are different than mine.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I get on a canoe and
These are
a
big
little
boats.
lake.
It's like a 150-foot boat.
Oh, that's a decent sized boat.
I got
That's
such a
huge.
good idea. Maybe sometimes we could do like a Shark Week film all together.
Yes.
And then we could just make our own like Discovery movie.
Let's
and
do
we
it.
can get popular. Then once we do our other video, we could just like put a link on it. So guys, whenever we do that, make sure you look in the
Yeah. So go down there in the description. Link in the description.
future video that we did not do. Once we're done with the actual video, we'll send a link in our next.
Yeah, make sure to subscribe. Which, by the way, we are going to, just so everyone knows, we are going to be shooting some stuff with these guys tomorrow, and we've got to get Ace. He's got how many subscribers you got right now?
I think like maybe like
15, I think.
I have like probably like 57 or 75.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
It's going-
I can't even keep track anymore. You know.
More than 50 at least.
Okay, so we're gonna have to get him some subscribers. So we're gonna put a link in. Yeah.
If you guys are wondering what my YouTube channel name is, it's just Ace Monkey Gaming.
Ace
Subtle plug.
Yeah,
Gaming.
and you can say your YouTube channel now.
Yep, you can. Yeah, well, we'll put a link in the description to your YouTube channel as well, and actually all of your guys' social media. Obviously, that's how we found each other.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, say your name.
Andy Brandy Casagrande, the 4th.
Yep, there you go. There you
my
go.
favorite.
We love it. We've said that so many times.
Hundreds of times.
We've said that. We've said every because whenever I say you're coming, I always say your full name. So I love
Sometimes
that.
we're just sitting down in
Just
the lab,
yelling it.
just saying it.
just saying the name.
a funny name.
So obviously, I found you on Instagram is how we originally linked up ABC Explorer, and it's a great Instagram page. So I everyone should check it out. Do you want to take a couple supers real quick?
Yeah, I got
We
you.
got some super chats. We'll just ask what the people want to hear.
You might
about.
have to reiterate for Andy because he can't hear me. So
I'm sorry, you can't hear him. That's right. He's talking to me, so you can't hear.
So I'll just go through though real quick, okay?
Do you want to grab? Can he borrow headphones for just 1 second?
I think I could hear him.
Hey, what's up, man? All right, so we got Becky Gallant says patiently waiting. That was before the podcast. Thanks, Becky.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Becky.
We got Silver Cash says stuck at work making the pizza. We got some gnarly rain and flooding from that storm. Such an awesome vacation. Thank you for everything.
Yeah,
Thanks
so
for
Silver
coming out,
Cash
Silver
makes
Cash.
pizza, and I actually took him to Trivoli's when he was here, and he came up and visited with us the last couple days. So he's super cool.
Rare Dog says, first, Mac is an incredibly impressive human being. Second, I smile every time I look at your right wrist. Third, thank you for allowing us to be part of your amazing family. Love you guys.
Rare Dog is she made this for us. So I've been wearing it for
that
the
in
last.
the car on the ride up.
I just we did an event in Oklahoma that she put on, and it was just really a lot of fun. So this is my memory of that amazing adventure.
Elaine Smith says, pizza's getting cold. Go on now.
Oh, we're thinking about it,
Nick Trimble says, Andy, I'm a huge fan. Guadalupe is on the bucket list. Watch all of your Shark Week work a lot. Any good Shark Week behind the scenes stories?
Ooh, let's hear. Do tell.
Ooh,
he's
Shark
probably
Week.
like Discovery's probably like, wait a second there.
Yeah, well,
I want
tune it
to
in.
do next year. Next year too.
I ruined that a long time ago. Let's see. Well, we were just talking about Shaq, and this is a funny Shaq story. Just to keep, just a quick thing on him. So, nurse sharks, like they're pretty benign animals.
Yeah.
They're very non-threatening, non-predatory. They are predators, but anyway, they're like I don't know, like the cats. You could have one on your arm or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, we needed to shoot this sequence with Shaq inside of a pen with a nurse shark. And we had these scientists in there, and we had him coming up, and he walked up, and they're like, all right, Shaq, come on in. He's like, nope. And everyone did that. Everybody laughed. And then hey Shaq.
He's like,
come
no.
on.
He's like, no, seriously, no.
And they're like, we're all like looking at him like, Shaq, it's a freaking nurse shark. Like, man, it's not a big deal. But he didn't want to. He didn't want to get in there, and we were all like, what's going on? And he wouldn't go in, and the whole scene was the director. We were all a bit confused, and then as he's walking away, like I'm like walking sort of close to him, like, hey Shaq, why didn't you want to get one of those nurse sharks? They're really pretty benign, and they don't even have very sharp teeth, and they're pretty harmless, to be honest. He's like, yeah, right. And he shows me his phone. That day on social media, or that morning before, someone posted a video of this girl hand feeding a nurse shark up the back of a boat in Australia that pulled her into the water. And she's like wearing a bikini, and it like pulls her in this awkward way, and it's a super viral video, and it was actually on Shark Week's like Sharks Gone Wild or whatever. Yeah. And so he's like, this is why I didn't get in.
He's like, you guys think you know everything. It's like, I know more. He's like, I know more than you guys. Look at the Instagram posts here. That's hilarious though. So you guys didn't shoot it with, I mean, he didn't get in.
No, but we had plenty of other scenes with him, and it wasn't really a big deal.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, other Shark Week stuff. My mind's a bit blank right now. This we had some pretty sketchy night dives, and I think you were telling me earlier about like Mr. Beast. Awesome guy. They do a lot of production, but sometimes there'll be, you know, if you don't have the perfect or an amazing product, like you have to reshoot or go do it better, whatever. And I've been on a number of shoots where you go there and you're trying to get something, but it's not there, and you got to go back.
Yeah, you can't make them do it. You know, it's just
we
either
built like this whole underwater house for someone to live in, and then in the areas where all the sharks used to be in False Bay and these other areas, and they all left, and then couldn't do it. And it's just funny to watch humans try to adapt to wildlife. And
well, it's what they say, right? You know, never work with animals or kids, right?
Yeah.
That's the things that you know.
So work with me.
Yeah,
dude,
yeah. You're working with both. You're doing good. So, so you were just in Iceland.
Oh, that was crazy.
So
Flew that drone
were you there?
volcano.
Yeah, your drone got eaten by the volcano.
Love it.
Yeah.
That was so you at least got the footage.
Yeah, that was we went to Iceland just to get away from the kids. It was it was actually just Emma and I, my wife, and I just brought a small drone that I had just bought, the DJI Air S2 or something like that.
Yep.
Super small, compact form factor, good drone. And we get there, and we're only going to be there for like a week. Get there, and everyone knows about the volcano. We go to check it out, but it's fully socked in with clouds, and you can't get anywhere near it. Go to there the next day, and then we're like, I don't want to hang out another day near this area. Let's go travel around. So we traveled around, saw a bunch of cool stuff, the waterfalls, the thermal pools, the awesome food and everything. And then on the final day back, we went back to the volcano, and the clouds had kind of opened up. Got the drone up, flew it over the volcano, started getting really cool footage of the lava, waiting for it to release. I really wanted to get the shot of it, getting lava like right at the lens. Yeah, because there is that shot actually. Someone got it recently.
Yeah.
But the drone started to then like melt.
Oops.
Obviously, and I'm like
plastic.
I'm like 10 kilometers away in Iceland with a like hoodie over my head, like flying the drone just so I don't feel hot until the drone starts like shutting off and saying auto landing, trying to auto like,
in the volcano.
No.
Yeah, and everything went dark. But the thing is, I kept my thumb on the throttle going up, and it never, even though everything went dark, the mechanics of the aircraft still was ascending out of the volcano. And by the time I was able to get some metadata back, just the altitude and the distance, so I could kind of navigate back blind. And the footage is pretty cool. It was a cool.
It's badass.
That was your drone.
Yeah.
So it's interesting you say that the food there is good because I not that I don't think that the food there is good, but I heard it's very expensive. Is that true?
Oh, everything. The alcohol, the food, the tobacco, the whatever you want to get there is everything. You've been there before,
I've
right?
never been to Iceland. No, that's like a dream thing for us to go. Yeah, we had a friend go.
Yeah.
Super expensive.
At least we live in Naples. Then it's not like $20 million just to breathe one piece of air. Like, what the? And then you're just like, wait. And you just start holding your breath and you just go out of town.
I think Ace has a future. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, he's gonna have his own
He's
show.
a talent,
He's got a
bro.
YouTube channel. He's editing his own stuff.
got
He's
his
doing
own
drinks.
merch.
Yeah,
No
he's got his
way.
own merch. Yeah.
Got his own
Intense.
multiple Minecraft servers.
Oh my gosh, this
Oh,
guy.
nice.
Two of them.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So Noah, just keep this
Yeah,
is
I
your
gotta keep my
competition. You
eye
gotta
out.
keep your competition up here.
He's
So
gonna take
what else
it
we got,
over.
Jay?
Daniel, says, why did Royal Python's name change to ball python?
Well, actually, they didn't change. Most of the world still calls ball pythons royal pythons.
That's right.
Really?
We're one of the very few countries that still calls them ball pythons.
Yep.
And the reason they were supposedly called royal pythons was because it's said that Cleopatra used to wear them around her wrists as jewelry. So they called them royal pythons. So
I don't get why more people don't do that today.
yeah, they should, right?
I think so, yes.
That's a fashion statement. Yeah.
Especially with the price tags of a lot of ball pythons these days.
Gotta get rappers into it, and then it'll start happening.
Now,
That's a good point.
have you ever dove with Greenland sharks?
No, I wanted to, but I never have.
Yeah, that seems like that'd be crazy.
They have like parasites on their eyes.
Really?
And whale sharks actually have teeth on their eyes.
What?
Oh,
What?
God. That's
Yeah,
like
they
the
have-
Demogorgon all over. Stranger Things.
Demogorgon. Yeah, whale sharks have the basically dermal denticles on their eyeballs.
Wow.
Because they're pretty big animals, and
Yeah.
if other predators come in and try to mess with their eyes,
They can just close their.
they can. Well, they have like I'm not sure if they have nicotinating membranes as well, but like they have built-in shields.
Wow,
built-in
that's
teeth,
crazy.
dermal
They've got to.
denticles.
You've dove with them, I'm sure.
Yeah,
That's got to be
Mexico,
insane.
Australia, Hawaii.
Yeah, I mean that's an animal that. This is the thing. Lori and I have talked about it. So Lori, I don't think would ever die because she doesn't even like to snorkel. Like she gets freaked out, right?
Yeah, I was just watching a show though, and I think I might want to try again.
Dive or snorkel?
Both.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Would it be as
Scuba dive
successful? I
once.
don't know.
Yeah, she
But,
worries about like drowning and stuff.
Yeah, it's a mental. Is
Oh,
my
you'll be
problem.
fine. But that's
I think I'd be like you though, in the sense that if I ever, diving in a quarry that you're seeing nothing, but there's some fish in there and stuff like that. But I think if I don't know, one of two things would happen. Either I'd see a shark and I'd be mesmerized, which I think is what would happen, or I'd poop myself and I'd be in big trouble. But I've been so fascinated with sharks my whole life. I think I would just like forget I was even underwater,
you would.
So.
And that's why it's weird you had that. Not weird, but you got to get back in the water. Just even in like an 8-foot pool with a scuba tank and run around there and clear water.
Yeah, I actually have I have a bunch of gear. I don't have a tank, but I have a BC and a full face mask because I got the full face mask so I could talk underwater and stuff like that.
Was it OTS?
I can't remember.
Ocean Reef.
It might be. It's yellow. I don't know what it is. I know it was like $2,000, so it was expensive. So I don't know what it was, but
Right.
but it's I have, and literally I used it one time, and that was the end of my dive career. So I do want to get back in the water, and I really did enjoy like the closed water. I enjoyed a tremendous amount. I was really comfortable underwater. But it's funny because even since that situation, like we have we go to a place by a lake, and the lake is like 90 feet deep, and I get freaked out even when I'm on a kayak out there. It's like ever since that moment, it's like I'm freaked out by water now,
Oh, wow.
So I got to get out there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird, right? It's weird.
How long ago was that?
It's like 6, 7, 8 years ago. I mean, it's been a while. So
Oh, wow.
I need some help. I need help.
Well, the thing is, when you went down and had that, did you have the full face mask on?
No,
as well?
that I didn't. I had a regulator at that point because I was
Okay.
doing just open water with the regulator, certification with the regulator. And then I was supposed to do the face because I did close water with the full face mask. They wanted me, which I think that would have been really difficult. Yes, sir.
Okay. I got a good idea. So next time you go to that lake,
Yeah.
you should actually wear I think it's scuba tank because I once did that. It's like a feature so you can like go in water, like go to the bottom, and then there's this float. There's this button that will float, bring you back up.
Yeah,
That you
BC,
can just-
yeah.
If you're like, and you can still breathe. So if you're like thinking, oh God, I'm gonna drown, You just click
hit the
the button that'll make you float back up.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm safe.
Exactly.
You just don't want to go too fast.
Yeah. Not if you've been down too long. Yeah. Not
General rule is never faster than any of your bubbles, even the smallest one.
Yeah. Thankfully, when I had to do that kind of emergency ascent, I had only been down there for a couple of minutes, so it wasn't like I was down very long. And I had a dive master with me. He's the one. He grabbed my arm and hit my BC to go to the. So I wasn't doing it on my own.
Right.
He just saw that I was like freaking out for a second, and he was like, "Oh, we better get to the surface before this guy dies."
The cool thing about the shark diving is that you're not wearing a tank, but you are breathing off of a regulator. So you're in these cages. If you went to the bottom of the cage, you're probably like 10 feet under the water.
Oh, that's not even bad.
As in, like your feet are at 10 feet.
Oh, so you're really close.
You can pop up, and in like 2 to 3 feet, your head's out of the water. There is a roof to the cage, but a lot of people like it better because you don't have the tank in your back. You do have weights, so you can like stand in the bottom, whatever.
Yeah.
But you just want to be comfortable. Free diving is fun. Snorkeling is cool, but
because you can free dive with like whale sharks and stuff, right?
I want to go free diving one day. That should, once we do our like other Shark Week thing, which should be linked in the description on the other video. We can just
I love it.
Just check them out and then just like
He's an idea guy, man.
Yeah.
He's all about.
We
the
need him on the
ideas.
team, dude.
Yeah, he needs to be up higher on the team for sure. I tell you, that's insane.
So Andy, I have a question for you. Have you ever filmed a species of animal in the water that you never thought that you would ever have seen?
Ooh, like an axolotl?
It could. So Ace is all about axolotls.
Ace is all about axolotl. I don't even know what it was. He rolling down this. He's got his birthday. He got a shirt that says "I axolotl questions."
I've got the same shirt.
He does.
I've got the same shirt. I have that shirt too.
Shirt.
We're just like each other.
But I've never filmed an axolotl. I got asked to go film the coelacanths in South Africa.
Oh wow, that would be crazy.
Very deep and rebreather stuff, and I haven't really been doing that in a while. But
how deep is that?
I don't really know. It was over 200 feet.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
It was
So we have a relative that is I don't even know what he is. He's not a Navy SEAL. He's a Navy
medic or some
medic
sort.
that goes out with the special forces, right? So he had to go through like Navy SEAL training and stuff like that.
Right.
But he told us about they would be 100 feet deep with a rebreather, and their instructor would come and rip it off them and beat them up.
Yeah.
And then they would have to like compose themselves, get everything 100 feet down. I was like, I would die. Goodbye. I would just roll over and die. You know what I mean?
Just don't do that.
Just don't.
I just think
we're not gonna go there. That's that's where the death spot. If you
yeah. I agree with. I just to me like 30, 50 feet. I think I'm okay. Under that, it scared me, man.
I was recently in French Polynesia, and I was wearing full face mask with a scientist deploying BRUVs, which is basically a baited remote underwater viewing station or a video station. But we got down to like 165 feet and both started feeling a little like those masks aren't really designed to go too deep. I know 120 is okay, and then past that, I think with a lot of things, you start to factor in a number of other dive tables. But we weren't feeling really good. But yeah, I prefer to stay shallow, to be honest.
Really?
Most of the best activity I have with the sharks and most light in the activity is between the 100 foot and the surface.
Right. Yeah.
Most of it actually more 30 feet in the surface.
Interesting.
You know?
Okay, cool.
Good to
Now,
know.
we know, everyone always talks about great whites. And I mean, what's the species that you just like are really drawn to?
That's the one,
Really?
Carcarius. Yeah, they just have so much attitude. Like you could dive with the reef sharks all day long, and they have this sort of pack mentality, and unless they have really distinct scars or messed up features, it's hard to really kind of pick one out of the pack. But great whites are all like soup. And don't get me wrong, reef sharks are all unique. So great whites have very pronounced different personalities.
So you can almost tell all. I mean, like, oh, this is this one, this is that one right off the bat.
Right, like snakes have amazing personalities.
Sure.
Like most people, are like, what? A snake has a personality? It's just like a weird old slimy thing. Like they're not slimy. Listen, but like people think the same with sharks. Oh, sharks are just going to be aggressive and mean.
Right.
But no, like you get ones that act like they're like Bob Marley, like don't want to, no interest in the bait or whatever. Others that are afraid of their own shadow.
Really?
Some that just want to bite everything, the engines and the swim step.
Wow.
Others that will just keep circling cautiously
Wow.
on the outside. And you can distinctly ID all these sharks, and they all like exhibit that. When they get super competitive with each other, the behavior will go out the window, and they go to full aggression or full feed mode, whatever. But they then go back to that, just like we are. Like we all have our temperaments, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
really
Now,
cool
is
to
there
know.
like the dodgy ones? Like, is there like Mako's the dodgy ones, bull sharks? I mean,
They all can be dodgy. There can be. I mean, Makos are super fast in close quarters. So for like fin to hand combat, they're really quick. They can move like take your hand off. Like had a Mako go really quickly, like baby Mako, like a tiny little Mako, the size of that T-Rex right there, like swimming up on me, and it was so fast. It swam past my camera, went over the camera, and then right past my ear with its like mouth open. I was like, man, I almost got my ear bitten off by a Mako shark that was 4 foot, not like 3.5 feet long.
That's amazing.
Holy, you try to think about like everyone's like the big sharks. Really, the big sharks are more cautious.
Yeah.
The 18-foot great whites, the 17-foot Makos, the big tigers. They got big for a reason, for being cautious, for being smart, for being respectful around other predators, and the ultimate predators, humans. They survive the gauntlet of being killed or whatever, or targeted by us. Like what about with you and like sharks' size dominates. With snakes,
it's similar. I always say like I would rather, handle a 15-foot king cobra. I know you've done work with king cobras before. I'd rather handle a 15-foot king cobra than a 3-foot king cobra. Because they're way more high energy. They're shorter, so they can come back quicker. They're unpredictable. The bigger ones, like you said, once they get big, they kind of are predictable. You can almost read them, and there's not much. Ace, what's up?
He's got his hand there. He's got the mic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at the end of this podcast should be like read some random comments at the end of this podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna read a couple comments here in a second, actually, even because we have a bunch of.
Good, man.
Yeah, he knows, man. He knows all about it.
So Ace's name, just by the way, Ace, this guy right here, he's my first son, only son, 8 years old, September 11th, just had a birthday.
Wow.
Oh, happy belated
birthday.
Yeah, and A stands for Andy. The E at the end stands for Emma, my wife's name, and the C in the middle stands for Casagrande, our last name. So he's like an amalgamation, if that's the right word.
really
Yeah,
nice.
I
Love
like it.
that.
I like it. That's good stuff.
He's keeping an eye on your statistics and
Make sure you get all that stuff. Yeah, get those super chats. Anyone that has questions.
description in the comments, the
Yeah.
links.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also Ace. I play tennis, and I think Ace actually is a word at tennis.
Oh,
That's
right,
it.
it
Ace.
is.
Yeah, Ace is a word. Yeah. Did you know that
I played Wii.
my mom actually was, believe it or not, my mom was the champion of 8 states in tennis when she
way.
was a kid. Yeah, it's true.
Oh, wow.
It's true. So yes, I know a lot about tennis. I grew up around it. So yes, I know. What do we got? Supers. Let's hit just a couple more. I know there was a question.
I got a couple.
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
more
go
before
ahead.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Steve says, just sending some love, guys. You guys are awesome. I'll send another super for the little man to blow out our eardrums live. Let's hear how loud he can scream.
that was for Ace.
And then
Still here, kinda. I can kind of hear just.
and then Daniel came back to say, shout out Hammerhead is my favorite shark.
Hammerhead. Okay, cool. Awesome. And there's how many species of hammerhead are there?
Hammerheads, over 10 species.
Over 10
Wow.
species.
Yeah, over 10. But it could be even more. It's funny because you want to give the right information, then if you Google how many species of sharks.
Right.
If you combine sharks and rays, there's like over 1,000. There's thousands. If you just specific sharks that anywhere from 500 plus, but you read these things and it's hard to sometimes
is this statistic correct that we kill 100 million sharks a year?
They've been using that same number for a lot many years. I know it's in the millions and millions and millions of sharks. But
so you think about that. If they're killing millions and millions, maybe 100 million a year, how many sharks are out there? I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's an unbelievable, horrendous. I mean, I'm sure that's what your life is about. Is trying to get people to stop the finning and all the other garbage stuff that happens.
But it is mind blowing to see that it continues still at such a rate where the sharks still seem to be producing enough to allow them to continue to still slaughter.
It's ridiculous.
The numbers have to have decreased. We know that shark species, the overall populations have decreased, but and they just keep switching up. The fishing gear gets better and better, so they can really get out there and find them no matter where they are.
Sheesh. Yeah, it's I think again, sharks are much like reptiles. Like people look at them as killers.
Yeah.
They don't have the same. If you go out and murder kittens, they have a very different viewpoint of what happens with sharks and reptiles. Like
people don't care.
It's true. Yeah, they're so much easier to hate than to love.
Well, there's probably no other animal that, like, when an accident happens, the entire town gets together. Let's kill all the sharks.
Right.
What I mean? Whereas accidents happen with the dog. Go kill all the dogs in the neighborhood. What I mean? So it's but it's just a bummer. I mean, that I've always had a tremendous amount of compassion for all wildlife. But shark, again, I think reptiles, dinosaurs, and sharks have been my thing forever. I love all animals, but those are like my main things. And it's so it's a shame to see.
Have you been diving with any hammerheads?
Yeah, quite a few great hammerheads right out of Bimini, which is the closest Bahamian island to America.
Yeah, Florida.
All right. I was thinking Bohemian Grove. Never mind. Separate thing.
Different.
And then scalloped hammerheads in the Galapagos and Cocos Island in Costa Rica. You get them off of Hawaii. You get them off right in the Gulf Stream in Florida.
Yeah.
Even up near Cape Cod, you get a lot of there's a spear there.
That's actually an African spear from her grandfather. That's when it's from like the 50s.
A safari, yeah. He went on a safari and bought it.
In like the 50s.
Reminds me, I saw something on the gram or whatever you call it with a crocodile with a big Maasai spear through this crocodile. David Sheldrick Trust, this conservation organization, and they somehow caught the crocodile or looped the spear and was able to pull it out. But it was pretty.
Yeah,
have you seen that pretty famous alligator? Crocodile. God, I can't believe I said that. Crocodile in Indonesia that has the tire around its neck. Have you seen anything on that on the gram?
No.
Yeah, it's been a like a big media thing for the last couple years, and they've had tons of people, guys from NatGeo, like Matt Wright from NatGeo, has been out there trying to catch it and help. Like they cannot catch this thing.
Wow,
it's like so but it literally grew. There's a tire around its neck, and now you can tell it's grown a lot, so it's restricting its neck. But nobody can catch this thing. It's so smart and so cunning. They see it, it disappears every single time.
Trying to get
and there's been
Chandler
tons of Chandler, who's down in Florida, YouTuber and also a big conservationist. He's trying to get over to Indonesia as soon as things calm down over there and see if he can go get it. Just
they need to get King Kong on that thing. Like Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah, that's what they need.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Godzilla. Get King Kong and Godzilla.
Wow.
And just vote me for president on a next.
Now he's running for president.
In the middle of it, the Ace podcast.
I love it, man. We got him going. What we got?
Yeah, we got Edward says, "Hi everyone, great podcast. Andy is amazing. Gotta ask this: is the Megalodon real?"
Ooh,
the Megalodon was real, but from what we can tell now, is no longer.
Well, coelacanth. Dang, coelacanth.
Well, that's what I mean. It was real, but from what we can tell now, aside from some funny Discovery shows,
yeah.
That
they took a lot of crap for that, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Yeah, they took a lot of crap for that one.
They fooled a lot of folks, but from what we know scientifically and in the real world, without dramatization or the quickest disclaimers in the history of all disclaimers, they do not exist any longer. Maybe there is some eggs somewhere under a tower in Louisiana offshore with some that they'll hatch, but they didn't hatch that way before.
Yeah, hundreds of millions of years they've been gone. Yeah, so although I will say, Animal Planet got me.
Oh, got everybody.
On the mermaid.
On the mermaids,
they got me 100%.
I knew it.
I was like 3/4 away through that before I realized it was a mockumentary. I was like, oh my gosh, there are really mermaids.
Yeah,
they got me hard.
They got you, man.
And I've never trusted them since. Trusted them since.
Elon just texted me.
Elon Musk, perfect.
Wouldn't that be cool?
I was like, oh damn, he's got the hookup.
No, it's the SpaceX launch reminder thing. It's in 2 hours.
2 hours. So we'll be way done before then. But we definitely got to watch that one. Good. So what else was there?
Yeah, we got Nick. He threw $10 for love,
Thank
and
you,
then Mac Lorenzo, our boy. He says, "Great to see ABC on here. Hypothetically, you're stranded on one uninhabited island anywhere in the world, but you get to choose which island and why."
That's good. That's a good question.
Ooh. You could get, Iceland.
That's such
That's
a Mac
tough.
question.
Yeah, Max is
That
Mac
is,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
He's rolling up the ashwagandha.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? A little bit of Vasanya in there.
Yeah, a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
this.
Maybe the North Island of New Zealand because
Really?
it's
Island.
quite a diverse island.
Yeah.
Get a little mix of everything. They got good beer there.
Oh, wow. Do they?
I got
Pretty good
question.
pizza. They got
Really?
good pizza.
How about, have you been to Antarctica?
I have not.
Okay, so that's a continent. That's your last continent.
Is that my last? Yeah, I would say. Yeah.
Wow.
You ever think about going?
All the time. I want to
Really?
do leopard seals there. That's a dream to do leopard seals.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Let's go tomorrow, man.
Yeah, the boat ride would not be good.
No, yeah,
for real.
The Drake Passage is
Dude,
pretty intense.
I know
You
more
looked
about the
into it.
I know more about the Drake Passage than most people.
Why?
Than even the captains.
He
Why?
spends lots of
This
nights
is what
up
he
at
does.
Are you serious?
I
Watching
I
documentaries.
went down the rabbit hole so many times.
Yeah.
Watching every single thing about the Drake Passage.
Really?
And I've got to take a plane or something there, man. I just don't think I'm making that boat ride, man. That looks gnarly.
night. It does look
So
really rough.
you have to have some rough sea stories.
Yeah, actually, I was just telling you, going to Guadalupe can be quite rough. And
Oh, great.
one time I went there on a really, really,
You're selling this hard.
really rickety boat, where I slept with my life jacket clipped around my ankle.
Wow.
Just in case the boat, it was a rickety boat, really rough weather. I thought the boat might break apart.
Oh my God.
So I thought if I woke up underwater,
At least you'd
At
have
least
your
I'd-
foot.
I've had my foot pulling me up to the surface. But
Oh my gosh.
I was in
Upside
a
down.
research boat in South Africa. We were in the surf zone photographing great whites and IDing them, and we all were really excited. Saw this big one, and it's getting closer. Like, wow, this is unbelievable. We all got so distracted by how beautiful it was that the captain, we all forgot we were in the surf zone. A huge wave came, pushed the boat over, capsized the boat on its side.
Oh my gosh.
All of our stuff goes flying. Everyone clings to the boat. It was a double hull boat. He floors it. The shark had disappeared once we first capsized it. It
Yeah.
just got frightened and swam off. But we all righted ourselves. It was okay. But that was our own fault. It wasn't really rough weather. It
Yeah.
was just like...
Yeah, you were in the wrong place. Yeah.
But Drake Passage, rough weather, like coming to and from the Farallon Islands off of Northern California and a few times out of South Africa, we've definitely had some conditions where I never really thought I would die. I just thought maybe the boats would break apart or we'd flip over.
Yeah.
But,
Well, that would be alarming enough for me.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool that would be the case, but you just didn't think you'd die. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Because
might break-
usually, if that's what happens, that's most people's first thought is this happens and I die.
And they
Like-
die. Yeah.
Well, I think you've got to, if you're going 18 hours offshore, you can't worry so much about dying. You just can't think about it, right?
And the boat's so big, you're not thinking about it. There's like big TVs, you're chilling. It's like a floating hotel. You
Yeah.
don't feel like you're on
Oh,
a
it sounds
boat.
like right up your alley.
Sounds
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said
hotels.
TVs, and that's all.
Oh, you mean cable? You got cable? I'm in.
Bro, some safety
Yeah.
guards. If the boat ever breaks apart, there's definitely have to be some safety guards. If
Yeah,
there's
we have
not,
safety guards, life
then
jacket.
you
Yeah,
would
life
have
jacket.
to,
Yeah,
like,
so you can float out there for.
immediately tie the thing to. You would have to sleep with a life vest. So if you wake up
Yeah.
in if the boat breaks while you're asleep, you're just gonna
I
be
did have a
floating up and then
situation.
yeah.
I had a situation where I was, speaking of weather, I was making a polar bear film. I was in Alaska. Canada. Sorry.
Okay.
I was in Canada, and they sent me out there. We were trying to attract polar bears to us. And the Inuit Eskimo, they would never make really like fires out on the sea ice because the polar bears would pick up. They'd see that. I mean, in the barren wilderness of just white nothingness, you see a
right.
fire, it would attract polar bears. So National Geographic developed me these really high-powered LED lights that I was going to use to draw polar bears to me.
Like a fire, yeah.
And I was going to spend the night out there alone, but
Oh, great.
I had a bear fence that the producers brought for me, which is, you know what it is? It's like, it almost looks like tin, what do you call it? Not tin, dental floss that you wrap around like these stakes that you put around it. But
Yeah. I've seen that.
very, I mean, literally dental floss flimsy, but
yeah, it
you
sounds safe.
electrify it so the bears.
Oh.
But the best part
how's
is
that
the
protecting
producer
you?
forgot the battery.
Oh,
Forgot the whole
stop,
thing.
dude.
I forgot the battery.
Oh
so
my gosh.
they leave me out there.
Dental floss.
Crazy.
They leave me out there at nighttime. I'm in the tent with these high-powered LEDs with a bare fence with no batteries. They left me. Left me with a gun.
Nice.
And that was in the back of a snowmobile that got covered in snow, and they had left the gun bag open, so the gun was just frozen solid.
Oh my!
And
so yeah, you were committed.
Yeah, but it was funny. I was in the tent and I was doing a piece to camera because it was for a show that I was hosting for NatGeo. I'm like, man, sometimes it's hard. And then anyway, I look and I smell something, and I had a propane heater in my tent, and it caught my jacket on fire.
No.
So now I
Batting 1,000,
I
dude.
got no jacket. You're out there with only one sleeve.
Yeah.
Now I grab this thermos that I had made myself some like hot chocolate or something, and like throw it on the jacket. Now I'm like smelling of hot chocolate. I'm wet.
Oh my
I got
Polar bears.
bright powered LEDs, a gun that doesn't work.
Dental floss saving you.
Sat phone, they're not picking up. Dental floss with no battery.
Gosh.
Then I go to try to start the snowmobile, and every time I pull it, it's one of these really old pool starts,
Oh
and the
my
light,
gosh.
the light will glow. It would go, vroom, and the light would glow, and then it would, when I would let it go, it would go off, and
Oh
then,
my God.
so I'm like still trying to attract polar bears. Oh, it was a nightmare. I like finally got the snowmobile started. I revved it. I flipped it over, cracked my camera in half in my backpack.
This is a great trip.
Yeah. But it was fun. I eventually got the shots of the polar bears.
Oh, you did.
Hell yeah, that's all that
And
matters.
that's listen.
Worth it.
I've said
Tell
this.
the
It was
people
worth it.
that it was like,
I've actually said this, and Lori can attest to this. I always say that cameramans are the most interesting people on the planet. They really are. I've said that 100 times. Every time I've been on a production, I've always loved the camera guys because they have the best stories. They like as a presenter or someone that's in the show, you've got one series, maybe two series. You guys are going from series to series to series for 20 years.
Yeah.
So you've seen everything that people have seen on TV. You're just behind the camera. Well, you're in front of the camera sometimes, but you're always there. So your experience. Remember when we had John Mann? Remember him? He was actually on Whale Wars, a bunch of other shows and stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
I know John Mann.
Yeah, he's super cool guy.
Is it Man or Mans?
Mans. It's
Mans.
John
John
Mans.
Mans,
Yeah,
yeah.
John Mans. And so we were at our house filming a piece. This was for a History Channel thing, and he goes, "Oh, that's Guinness Book of World Record 2007 or something like that." He goes, "Oh, check this out." Opens up to like page whatever, and he's in it. And so it was the furthest south dive ever. Like he was in Antarctica, and he had dove in Antarctica, and he was in the Guinness Book of Record of like the furthest southern dive ever, or something
impressive.
like that. And I'm like, what's the chance of this guy in our house?
That's so cool.
And he's just like, oh yeah, that's me in that book right there.
That's really cool.
But every camera guy always has a million stories.
That's
you
really
guys
cool.
are the.
I think I'm the only cameraman that's ever took a guitar underwater and played it to great white sharks. So,
what?
I mean, that's not
that should be in the
hard to
Guinness Book of World Record.
Yeah. Only person to ever or the most guitar. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
come on.
you could name
So-
it Serenading Sharks.
Yeah.
Serenading sharks.
So did they react to it?
I couldn't really play. It was an acoustic guitar, so they could kind of hear the vibrations. But it was
Yeah.
kind of a thing for a music video.
Oh, for a music video.
It's probably badass.
So it wasn't science then. No.
Yeah, it wasn't
just do
really.
a soundtrack.
Yeah, it's
just
just a
record
soundtrack.
it. Just record it of you
got
doing
it.
that, and just replace it with that remember the song when I was like.
Oh, the Green Day song?
Oh,
The one where I'm like doing that guitar and then.
Oh, AC/DC.
oh,
even
he's
better.
really going
Yeah.
hard. He's going hard.
Thunderstruck.
Thunder. Oh, gosh.
I know a little
yeah.
bit about Thunderstruck.
Yeah, you ever play the game Thunderstruck?
No.
Oh, yeah, no.
Or
Yeah.
just like the
Don't do it.
first ever person to do an underwater band.
Yeah, I think it's. How does it go?
At a wedding.
Yeah,
every
it's at
time
a
it
wedding.
says like
so
thunder, you gotta drink.
yeah, you got to
Yeah.
drink every time it says like Thunderstruck or whatever.
wow.
Like you
Yeah.
got to slam a
really?
beer. Have you ever heard that, Jay, or no?
No, I've never heard that. That's
yeah,
a good one.
yeah,
It's a good
fun.
one.
That's all right. What do you got? Any other super?
Yeah, sure. We got Dan says, such good people getting together. The quality of the setup is beyond amazing as well. Thank you for this stream. Ever encounter snakes on a dive?
Like
That's
sea
cool.
snakes?
Thank you, Dan.
In Western Australia, there's out of Exmouth, the Ningaloo Reef. We would see a lot of sea snakes, and they look like scary, big, venomous, like.
Yeah, well, they're very venomous. There's no doubt
yeah,
about that.
Good point.
But
yeah.
they don't bite.
Yeah, they don't. Well, they do, but just not humans. And they
Yeah,
looking
exactly.
for like really small areas
Yeah.
to bite. Tell us about it. Like, what are they hunting? I don't know anything other than like they're like, oh, get away from me, snake.
Yeah, like
oh,
you said,
look,
I mean,
there's
they're like small fish hunters whatsoever. I mean, the only real human bites that ever happen are people that pick them up. And even then, it's very rare. Like Brian Fry, do you know who he is?
I've heard of him.
Yeah, so he's I believe he's an American that now lives in Queensland. He's an Australian citizen for 20 plus years or whatever. He's done shows on NatGeo and Discovery as well. But he got bit by, I think it was a Beaker's sea snake, and he was messed up for like 9 months. Like, he was in the hospital for like 30 days, and then like he had neurological effects for like 9 months.
And he was messing with it.
Yeah, I think he was trying to milk it, actually, if I'm not mistaken, because he's actually a herpetologist, scientist, so he was doing venom work and so on like that. But yeah, I think it's rare to find. What's that?
I just saw your monitor, Lisa.
Yeah, monitor Lisa.
Oh my god! At first, I swear I must have saw it at the beginning, but I was just like, "What's that weird looking thing?"
Yeah, this doesn't look like the Mona Lisa.
Where do you
the
get
monitor
that at?
Lisa.
Where do you get that
You can
at?
get that at reptilearmy.com.
Oh,
Yeah,
Hit the like button, buy the merch, baby. Subscribe.
Yeah, reptilearmy.com. Join the army. Become just foot soldiers.
yeah.
Yeah, you know the movement.
Join the army.
Do it up, baby.
Come on, baby.
What do you got, bud?
Okay. I gotta wait. What? So remember that like thing we were talking about in the car? There was like the dude that was like in the like hotel and he couldn't leave. So there was this dude that was in a hotel. He had like COVID and he couldn't leave because
We know him.
If you leave once and you leave the second time, you're going to jail. So like he got like super sick and he had COVID. He was sitting there for like
So we were talking about quarantines.
Yeah, we were talking
on the
about
drive over here.
Yep, we were talking about quarantines. I was telling about Miguel, how he got stuck in Mexico.
I pieced it.
So he knew all about. He knows the story better than anyone now. So
And you used to travel a ton, right? You don't travel as much anymore, but
yeah, I haven't been out of the country since COVID hit. So prior to that, I traveled a lot. Did a lot of stuff.
when are you getting back out there, bud?
Well, we talked about November, the end of November, back to South Africa, if at all possible. I mean, that would be my next adventure. But Lori and I want to get Lori to come to South Africa as well. Of course, I didn't paint the exact best picture of the country.
No.
But I think that, have you ever seen the movie Blended with Adam Sandler?
Oh.
And Drew Barrymore, great movie.
So sad.
I highly suggest
You
it.
need to.
So our friend Heidi, who may or may is Heidi on?
She's not on tonight.
Okay, she's
got
not
some
on
other
tonight.
things
Okay,
going
so
on.
Heidi is one of our mods. She's from Joburg, and she so she knows the resort that was filmed at, And so Lori, I want to take Lori. Maybe Lori would come to me just to go to that resort. But Noah's got the travel bug big time.
I've done 3 big road trips. During COVID.
Yeah, during COVID, 3,
Trying
both
to catch
over
it.
5,000. Yeah, over 5,000 miles a trip. We did 2 together that were 5,700 miles each.
Where'd you
And,
go?
well, the first one we went to, we went like basically here all the way through like St. Louis, Oklahoma, down into Texas, across to New Mexico. Did like the Painted Forest, up into Phoenix, then into Vegas for his 21st birthday.
Yeah.
Then we went up into Utah. We get this.
Wyoming.
We went to Yellowstone.
Oh my.
Listen, we went to Yellowstone. It was I believe it was on a Thursday. Tuesday they shut the park for the winter.
Yeah.
I didn't even
What?
know they shut the park for the winter.
Me neither.
So we drove
I thought
like
that's
hundreds.
When you go.
That's what I thought too, dude.
We went hundreds of miles out of the way to go to Yellowstone, and literally, it's like that scene out of Lampoon's Vacation, where it's like we pull up and it's like Yellowstone closed.
Yeah.
What?
Did you get out and like punch the smoke in the air?
yeah. So we were in this little town, so we like drove into town like,
what
there's
the
got to
hell?
be another entrance. Maybe this entrance is closed.
Right.
And we pull up this hotel. I go inside, and they're like, "Oh no, it closed
Oh,
Tuesday.
you just missed it."
Yeah, it's closed till March now.
Yeah, dude.
What?
What a bummer.
So we missed Yellowstone.
Wally World's closed.
Yeah, if John Candy was there, I would have held him up with a gun.
Supposedly, when it snows, it's too dangerous to drive. So you could die.
wow.
So you're just not allowed to go.
Yeah, just not allowed to go. And I guess once there's enough snow, they open it for snowmobilers, but cars can't go.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there was not enough. It was just the first snow of the year. Although we did still hit like the outskirts of Yellowstone,
It's like
and
one road.
and we actually did the polar plunge.
We did.
We were
swam in a river.
Yeah, we were hanging out right on the edge of Yellowstone on this beautiful river. We were driving in an RV, a smaller RV. And so we pull up in this RV park that's closed for the season, but there's this lady there, and I'm like, can we just pay you to stay here for like 3 hours? Like just to hang out, we just want to hang out and just have some fun. We did we did a slack line, and then we decided to get down to our skibbies and jump in the river.
Oh, man.
It was cold as could be.
My shins down to my feet were just numb.
Yeah.
You couldn't even feel walking back to the RV.
It was like 17 degrees outside.
Oh,
yeah,
when we
was
did it,
freezing.
it was like 17 outside, and then who knows? The water was like iced over, and we just like crush in there, and we did it. But so then we went up to we went up to Idaho, Montana, across to South Dakota, and then back home.
I'm gonna go get my computer, then I'll just go check in the text on the line. I'm gonna go get my
Yeah, go ahead. You can do whatever you want, bud.
I'm gonna go on the live stream, guys.
I'll tell him. Ace is going to go on a live stream on his laptop.
Make sure you know. Yep.
Take over.
Jay, you can give him the password too.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
you
you can
got
come
it.
in. Look at
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you can. Yep. Cool. He's great. But yeah, and then the last trip was actually just a kind of Florida trip we did. We drove all the way. We went to like Atlanta, all around. We did Florida. Like we probably circumnavigated Florida about 5 times.
Oh man.
Because my planning skills weren't the best. No. What I mean by that is that we'd film like Miami, and then the next day we'd film Jupiter, and then we'd film Miami the next day again. So like we like 3-hour drive that way. All right, back to where we were. 3-hour back to where we were. And so we did that, and then we drove up to Oklahoma and then back because we did the event with Rare Dog in Oklahoma. So and then we drove home. So and then he just got back from he flew to Seattle.
Yeah, I flew to Washington, drove down the 101 down to California, across Nevada, Colorado, all those good states, and came back. So we're traveling.
Got to see Zion. Yeah, I got to see Zion. But yeah,
Zion's beautiful.
Yeah. I haven't been. I've been to Moab, but I haven't been to Zion. So
I don't know if I asked you, but like, what got you into snakes and crocs and monitor Lisa?
It's just like you, dude. It's like I when I was a kid, all I thought about was reptiles. Dinosaurs and reptiles.
What was your first exposure to them? Because
I've told this. Yeah, I've told the story. My mom says I have a crazy memory. First off, like I remember from my great grandma passed away before I was 2, and I remember her 100%.
Wow.
So so my mom said before I was 2, went to a place called the Belle Isle Aquarium, and they had a ball python there. It was a fish place, but they had one display of, they might have had more. I don't remember that, but I just remember seeing that ball python, and I know it was a ball python because I remember it specifically exactly what it looked like. And from that moment on, I was just hooked. And here it is all these years, 50 years later, and I still remember everything about that cage. I remember the animal. I remember the way it was laying. I remember the smell in the air. I remember everything about that moment. And from that moment, I was just obsessed. And we lived relatively close to, right down the street from some woods. And so when I finally got to maybe 4 years old, back then you could wander off and stuff like that.
At 4.
Yeah, 4, 4 or 5 years old, me and a couple friends from the neighborhood just go down to the woods, and I would just catch snakes. That's all I would want to do. My parents hated snakes. My mom, I shouldn't say my dad wasn't around, but she wasn't going to let me keep any snakes, So what I would do is I would actually get a refrigerator box, and I would build up a habitat for them, and I would put all my snakes in the garage. And then in the fall, I'd have to release them back into the woods because I'd take care of them all summer long.
But how would you know what species they were?
I didn't know anything. I just knew they ate. I thought they ate worms. They would eat worms.
This one a rodent. This one.
Yeah, no, I just fed everything worms. I'd dig up in the garden worms and everything. And I had. I think that my biggest year I had 21, and I had them all named. And
wow.
I would literally feed each and every one,
That's so
one was
funny.
called Rascal. I would never forget that one. I just, and then
Come here, you little rascal.
Yeah. And then at the end of the year, I'd have to let them all go, and then catch them again the next year, so I was just obsessed with them. And then obviously when Lori and I met, I was breeding some snakes, and then she became an intricate part of the business, and then the rest has been history. It's been a lifetime. But this has been I was telling you on the way here, this is my favorite iteration of my life. You know what I mean? The zoo, the education, all that type of stuff, the conservation work that we'll be doing over the years. This is what I love.
I'm opening up a shark research center right next door.
Perfect. Let's do it. I'll pay for it. You do it.
There we go.
Can we get a great white in there?
That marathon gas station, out of here.
Yeah, get out of here.
No, we'll take the vet. We'll take the vet.
We do love those guys.
Sorry, I'll let you guys make those.
Yeah, those guys are good. Yeah.
Figured it's closed, but where are we going to get all the goods?
That's right. That's right.
What the hell? What am I
Yeah,
saying?
exactly. We need the water and all the other stuff. No, they're good people, but yeah, that definitely. Why can't great whites live in captivity?
They actually had a few in Monterey in California that lasted almost a year, or it could have been longer, but around that time frame. But they just seem to they don't like the confined space, and they would often run their snout into the plexi or into the glass.
Okay.
And then they also would just start hunting their tank mates. So they had to start releasing them when they would be like starting to breach and hunt and tail, and you remove the propulsion of other sharks or attacking other species, and they just get to a size where it's not really feasible.
Right.
I mean, orcas, you can, unfortunately, they stay alive. They suffer through that captivity, whereas sharks, most of the ones, the bigger pelagic species, I mean, white sharks are coastal as well, but it's tough to say. I'm sure if they had a big enough open ocean pen with enough moving water.
Yeah, because you think somewhere like it's in Dubai, they built that gigantic, even larger than the Atlantic aquarium. And I know you said you were down at the Georgia aquarium. I mean, that's crazy with the whale sharks there, right, too? But they just lost one, didn't they, recently? Lost one of their whale sharks?
They did, the Georgia aquarium, I think so, yeah. I've been through Dubai a bunch, but I haven't been to that aquarium. But yeah, you'd be surprised, like humans love to have had that feeling of like conquering or being able to achieve, especially in Dubai. Yeah. And they, might like, hey, we can build up a aquarium big enough to withstand a white shark.
Right.
Yeah. Its whole family and a Shark Week production.
Then
we wouldn't have to chase them around. We could just go to Dubai.
Yeah, just go to Dubai, sit in the hotel, have a couple cocktails.
Your best breacher? All right, Billy and Bob are your good breachers. We're the big females. Okay, we're the big females.
Yeah.
But it's funny, like when you look at animals in the media, sharks have obviously have the shark's share. I would say the lion's share. But there's no Lion Week. There is Big Cat Week. There's Gator Week and whatnot. But they pale in comparison to Shark Week, Shark Fest, and
Discovery Channel was looking at Snake Week.
Right.
And this is when our show Venom Hunters was on, and the week before our series premiered, the actual trailer for the series premiered on what they called Snake Day, and it was like their test for like, would Snake Day make a good Shark Week? And and it was actually what's his name? The Machete. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Danny Danny Trejo.
Yeah,
whatever it's called. But he, whatever his name is,
Mr. Machete, bro.
Yeah, the Machete.
That's the guy. He's that freaking sketch guy.
Yeah,
awesome.
I love him.
Actually, funny enough, the girl that does Machete's makeup was just out with me on a cinema science.
Yeah, really.
Her Instagram is her and Machete putting the makeup on.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy.
Anyway, keep focused.
But he was the host of Snake Day.
Oh,
and it turned out.
No wonder it scared the hell out of everyone.
Yeah,
like,
scared.
It's the wrong channel here.
Look at this guy.
Apparently the ratings weren't that good. So at that time it was nice because we were doing a show for Discovery, and it was kind of like, if Snake Week happens, you're going to be part of Snake Week. And I was like, yeah. And then our show got canceled. No Snake Week, and now sharks. All they talk about is fucking sharks.
And now you're a famous YouTube star. Life is tough. The struggle is real. But hey, again, back up with media. I often get this question about like Shark Week. Don't you think Shark Week demonizes sharks? This is bad for sharks. You're not really doing anything for sharks or conservation. And, I never really had a great response to that because I just had always thought that I was doing more good than bad and inspiring more people.
I think so.
And I think so as well. But I always wanted to try to figure out a way to somehow, I knew that deep down I was personally, but thought, how do I sort of defend Discovery? Are they really in? A good friend of mine, Jeff Kerr, who's the main producer for all the Air Jaws jumping, breaching shark shows, he had a great response to a question like that in an interview and said, listen, like Jaws completely decimated the perception of sharks and horrified the world. And caused this uproar, this hatred towards sharks where the only good shark's a dead shark. You were a hero if you killed a shark. You're now saving children, eradicating these pests from the oceans. A macho thing, but you were a good guy for killing sharks. Yeah. And then Shark Week came along in the 80s. I think it was 88. I'm not sure. But
they started this trend of shark programming. People started watching it a little bit out of fear, then a lot of fascination. It created a bigger and bigger cult of following. And then it created this event, this Discovery Channel Shark Week now, which is in its 30 plus years or more, or something like that, where there are so many people that love sharks and are addicted to them and devoted their lives to studying and learning about them, that anytime anyone goes out and kills a shark now, puts it anywhere near social media,
they get
death threats,
they get
fish and game, they get federal agencies.
They'll go to jail.
It's no longer like it's made sharks the most famous wildlife creatures on Earth.
Yeah.
They're like Hollywood superstars.
Yeah.
Snake Week isn't quite there yet, but what's cool is that Shark Week has created this cult of people that love sharks.
Yeah.
There are definitely some out there that are still freaked out and don't like them, but I don't think Shark Week's creating this fear that's causing people to go out and want to stab and kill sharks and support the trade, the finning and all that. So I don't know, like snakes, they don't have that platform of like Snake Week yet or whatever. And the only time I really learn about snakes is when I meet people like Brian and people like you and people like you. So that's where it is. Don't worry about it now, Ace. You can watch the. You can just ask your question in front of all of us here.
Guys, so the reason why it took me super duper long, when I went outside, I was like getting my computer. I was like, wait, it's on the car. It's probably I've been charging the car.
Oh, you went outside?
Yeah, so that's why I ran out for a second. I was like, yo, is he outside right now?
And you locked yourself out?
Yeah.
I gotta go back
Ace,
here.
this
I
guy.
checked the car, but then I went in here. I was like, oh, God, the door's locked.
So-
I tried to open it, screaming, gonna crash. And some key came out. Yes, thank God.
Oh my God! You came out and got him?
No,
Jay
Jay did. Jay got him.
Oh, you're the man.
Dude, you know,
Okay.
he's literally me as a kid, so like,
Oh, yeah. Thankfully, it's inside. That's all hooked up, by the
so
way.
I kind of just figured. I was like, he got himself into some trouble.
So
Oh my
on
God.
our way here, we're going through TSA, and Ace has his own ID and everything. Gives his ID, and he's like, "Don't worry, we don't have any guns."
Oh, that's the worst thing you could ever say. Yeah.
She
Don't.
laughed, and we went through. And
Yeah,
then I did have
now if
water that I forgot to pour out, so they went through my bag.
Yeah.
for
Now, if
water.
you would have said that, you'd be sitting in
Yeah.
jail right now. You know?
What's your YouTube channel called? I'm trying to get on your live.
It's
stream.
checking in.
checking in.
Yeah, for everyone out there checking in.
Yeah, checking in.
I
If you
think they
want to
are-
watch our podcast.
Yeah, if you guys want to watch the podcast, you can go to checking in.
Make sure you subscribe.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button. Got any other super?
Yeah. Nick Trimble says, would love to do the island with you all if we can keep Brian from looking down. What about when you guys filmed Great White Abyss show? Deep. Did you go in the submarine?
So yes, they actually sent me in the submarine first.
Wow.
Oh, no way.
As a guinea pig. And I had been in submarines before with great whites at Guadalupe 10 years prior with NatGeo, and that we were at the bottom only at about 175 feet. But I looked down and there's like water at my feet. And I look around and I'm like, there's water in the submarine, and the sub pilot's like, oh, it's just condensation. And I look around, I'm like, it's quite a bit of water for condensation.
Oh, no.
And I look around, and then I see he's getting a little nervous. Our underwater cooling system had like just turned off, or someone had kicked the little switch. So it was condensation, but it was getting really bad because the cooling unit wasn't. But at one point, I just thought, oh man, I'm in a submarine. It's literally
That's scary. I tell you what.
leaking. Yeah.
I don't think I could do a submarine thing, man. That freak me out. The confined space would freak me out.
Yeah, I've been in them quite a few times, and even down to 3,000 feet.
Whoa.
3,000.
And
Grand Canyon.
your biggest fear is just like, oh man, I hope I don't have to go to the bathroom down here.
Yeah.
No, but you just bring a Gatorade cup or a Gatorade
It's actually
bottle.
funny. A friend of mine, well, I use that term loosely. Someone I know, Fran Capo. Well, it's just I don't know her that well. She's a comedian, but she got paid to go down to the Titanic in a submarine and then read. She has going back to the Guinness Book of World Records. She has the Guinness Book of World Record for fastest talking human.
Oh wow!
And so like Mutual of Omaha or something like that paid her to go in a submarine down to the bottom of the Titanic and read like the Three Pigs as fast as she could. Some for a commercial, you know?
the hell?
Yeah, some crazy thing like that. But she told me, sorry, same thing. She said the same thing. She said, I wasn't freaked out at all. I just was worried about peeing. because she said, because there's so many hours that you have to be in it. And I was like,
I
okay.
think they would put a bathroom in there.
But she was probably my first Drake Passage story.
Oh, wow.
Same thing. She had a commercial gig where they wanted to send her to Antarctica to do some speaking, and she didn't know anything about it. So she said her agent like called her and said, "Hey, you got this gig. You got to leave tomorrow. You got to fly down to Argentina, and then you'll leave from there on a boat down to Antarctica." She didn't know anything about it, and she gets there and they're like, "Do you get seasick by any chance?" She goes, "Why?" They go, "Yeah, it's pretty rough waters."
Oh,
and then she
man.
told me the 3 days of hell that ensued.
She had no idea she was crossing the Drake Passage.
She didn't know. She had never even heard of the Drake Passage before. She just thought she was going to get on a boat and go to Antarctica. And be in
Doesn't
good
she
shape.
wish she knew you better, huh,
Yeah,
Brian?
so she told me that. So I was like, "Oh yeah." So I think she was the first one that told me about like the experience, and then after that, I went down the rabbit hole many times.
Yeah, right.
I'm fascinated by it. I can't get enough of the Drake Passage. I just don't want to ever be on it.
You want to be flying over that.
Yeah, I want to fly over it. Right?
I was actually in the Falkland Islands, which is in that
that's in that area. Yeah.
neck of the world or whatever. And I was filming elephant seals for this National Geographic sequence with a producer who had brought a one of those Hobie kayaks where you can use your feet to kind of pedal pushes and. But she brought I think the inflatable version, the pump up, almost like stand up paddleboard kind of pump up version.
Right.
Yeah, and guys, I'm just talking in the chat.
Ace is chatting there.
By the way, if you guys see Ace in the chat, do me a favor. Go over there. You can see it right there. Ace Monkey Gaming.
Yeah.
Go ahead and hit his subscription, please, guys. Go over and
Give him some
subscribe to his
love.
channel.
Nice.
Show him some love.
So we're in this kayak here, right? And we're starting to go out to paddle around to this elephant seal colony, and I've got the big camera, and the producer's there, and it's super ice cold water. We're in dry suits, and we start paddling out, and then we realize, man, the current is really strong, and we're not getting anywhere near this elephant seal colony. And holy jeez, man, we're going further offshore. And now we're now we stop paddling. We're just trying to cling on to any kelp we can find because they're drifting past the kelp for us. We're grabbing, and now our hands are so cold we can't even hold on to the kelp anymore. And for a second, I think, man, I might die here. If we get swept out to sea, we're already can't even hold on to kelp, and we're getting swept out into the Drake Passage or wherever.
Oh my gosh!
On a floaty kayak.
On a blow up raft.
Yeah.
So is there any backup plan? I mean, what happened?
We had a bottle of whiskey in the kayak.
Oh, that's a backup plan.
It's a hell of a
And
backup
a
plan.
satellite phone back in the Land Rover.
Oh, which is back in the. Oh, that's good.
We had the whiskey with us on the boat, and the Land Rover had the satellite.
Priorities,
So we were well prepared.
Well prepared. I liked it. And this was for who? NatGeo?
Yeah.
NatGeo.
I was just a cameraman on that. Producer was in charge of the sat phone and the whiskey.
And the whiskey. Well, he brought the whiskey, so that was the good thing.
Yeah.
Do you know Andrew? I think his name is Andrew Evans from NatGeo.
Sounds very familiar.
He's
quite
an
a few
interesting guy.
Evans actually.
Yeah, so he's a guy that also he storied going to Antarctica as well as the Falkland Islands. He still works for NatGeo, but he's called a digital nomad, where he would just travel around and just tweet his adventures.
Cool.
But then ultimately he ended up having some shows on NatGeo. He went from being like the original thing was I told this story before, but I'm going to tell again. He got a meeting with NatGeo. He went there and he said, "I have a ticket to Brownsville, Texas. Beyond that, I have nothing else. I'm going to make it to the edge of Argentina, and I'm going to tweet everything I do, and then I'm going to get on the National Geographic Explorer, and we're going to go to Antarctica." He said, "Will you fund it?" He goes, I'm not going to buy. He goes, "I'm literally just going to take buses, hitchhike, sleep in hostels, sleep wherever I can, all the way through Central and South America to the tip of Argentina."
Wow.
And they said, "Yeah, let's do it."
Wow.
And they sent him on his way. And then for 4 years, I followed him, traveling all over the world.
Oh, wow.
And all he did was tweet. He had no show, had no video, nothing. It was just him traveling around tweeting his adventure. And he called himself the digital nomad. But now he's actually done some shows and stuff like that. Anyways, if you ever run across him, he's a very interesting guy. And
That would be the job, man. Just tweet. I would just do straight up emojis. Just these, some beers, cheers.
I can actually add emojis. And do you like bananas?
I love bananas.
Actually, dude, that's actually a challenge. Somebody said, "I have a challenge for you. Get Brian to say the word banana." So that's why I said, "Do you like bananas.
You got
him.
Got him. You better go sub to him now.
Oh man, he's doing challenges as well.
Yeah. Keep the challenges coming, guys. You just make sure to sub to him no matter what you do.
Yeah, I actually just did that.
Oh, you're funny, Ace.
Yeah.
What else we got?
We
Jake?
got Timothy says Andy's favorite place to dive and favorite reptile. Love your work, Brian. Radiant heat panels or UTH heaters / heat tape.
Either way, I think it just depends on the application. What it is it's heat tape for that, or radiant would be a panel that radiates heat. Depends on the species. Both can work completely fine. And then, what's your favorite place to dive?
Well, what's UTH mean?
Under the tank heater.
Under the tank heater. I see.
We're all
Radiant
learning.
heat panels.
Yeah.
And it depends, right?
Yeah, it depends on the species and it depends on the application. You could do either one can
Right.
work completely fine. If you want something that's basking, the radiant heat basks this way. If you want something that sits on something hot,
Like a
it's-
nice.
yeah,
rock-
like a heat
rock.
pad. Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Same type of thing. But both work great.
For me, I mean, it's really tough. I get that question all the time. Where's my favorite place to dive? I really do love New Zealand. It's cold water, but you can encounter great whites, orcas, marlin,
New Zealand looks
seals,
incredible.
big stingrays,
Yeah.
big game fish, makos, bluefin tuna. But I also like the Bahamas because it's super warm, it's clear,
yeah.
it's 5 minutes away, and it's big tigers, hammerheads. You get great whites there too. So those are probably up there. And then
when
also
you're
favorite reptile.
Yeah.
what's
your
if you have
favorite?
a favorite reptile?
I mean, the thing is, man, I have like a love-hate relationship with Nile crocodiles. I filmed a lot of predation events with Nile crocs eating baby wildebeest and
Yeah.
baby zebras,
oh, that's
bad.
harsh.
and
Brutal, man.
also feeding on like hippo carcasses and just it's such
They're
a
predators,
raw,
man.
visceral
They're predators,
predation.
man.
Hyenas are just as gnarly, but either way, Nile crocs are pretty impressive to me just
I
because
love
they're
Nile
kind of like
crocs.
the great whites of the reptile
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
Or what about Nile versus salty? Like,
So I think that it's funny you say that because I think those are the two animals they're very similar, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, obviously the Niles are kind of the salty of Africa,
Yeah,
you know, and
yeah.
vice versa. I still think salties are more athletic,
okay.
more dangerous, bigger.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
although there's been some giant Nile crocodiles,
Yeah.
there's more giant salties
Right.
than there are giant Niles. I mean, they're both giant. I mean, 15 foot is huge no matter
we're
what.
counting
But,
inches,
but
yeah.
there's more 19, 20 foot salties than there are 19, 20 foot. You know, very seldom do you get over 15 foot with a Nile, whereas it's pretty common in Adelaide or something like that. Adelaide River, I'm sorry, up in Kakadu. To have 16, 17 foot salties and up to 20 foot. And they're more, although again, Niles eat people, salties eat people.
Yeah.
You know, and those are the two kind of people eating, you know, crocodiles, you know.
Yeah.
Not that other crocodiles don't eat people, but those are the two major predators. So,
Yeah.
and they're very impressive. We caught a over 15 footer in a place called Josini, Africa. Crazy experience of my life. It was really
Oh, wow.
awesome. It was super cool.
What about my man Gustav? Is he still
Gustav, no, he died a while ago.
Okay.
But it was captured. Who ended up with Gustav? Somebody ended up with Gustav. But yeah, it was. They thought that they ate like 300 people, something like that. The
Whoa.
rumor was.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, the rumor was. I don't know how they would have known,
Yeah.
but the village people literally, Gustav was taking people like constantly.
Yeah.
You know, it was a pretty amazing.
Amazing, huh?
Well, I mean,
Well, I mean,
you know?
Impressive.
Just talking about things like that, because you often get the question, especially with sharks, you know, are there rogue sharks? Are there sharks that have figured out humans
Yeah.
are somewhat of a viable prey item? Thing is about those lions, like the Savo lions, the lions in Kenya.
Yep.
They were documented for killing and eating a lot of humans. But
Yeah.
when they finally caught and killed those lions, they determined that their dentition, their canines were severely damaged and cracked. And their whole dentition was effed up to the point where they really weren't equipped to take down buffalo and zebra.
So they
And
just took the
The
weakest
jelly
link.
sacks.
they went
yeah,
to Gumby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben and Jerry.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ben and Jerry, do you guys have a two-headed freaking
We
snake?
do.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yep,
they got, I mean, when I saw
Yep,
that one,
Ben
day,
and
I
Jerry,
just thought,
yep,
I
yep.
thought, okay,
Guys,
YouTube's got a pretty creative
seen
license.
On your truck, I seen that two-headed turtle.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Oh,
That's chopsticks.
Remember we got. How do I show them? I kind of want to show the viewers really cool.
Those are the Fly River turtles.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, they're almost like sea turtles, but freshwater. They're from Australia and New Guinea.
This guy.
Yeah.
So, but you do all kinds of, you do live on your podcast. You don't do upstairs stuff.
Yeah, we don't do the podcast. We don't do live. We don't do really any live animal stuff.
Right.
Every now and then I'll do an Instagram live.
In case you lose a thumb or something.
Yeah, yeah, you
let's
never
just
know.
edit
Yeah,
that
we've
back in there. Hey.
Yeah, that's perfect. No, it's
I did one.
I remember when I showed Ace first. When we first started talking a few years ago, I showed. Pulled up your YouTube channel. Like the first shot is you like bleeding badly. Let's get past this one here.
Yeah.
He's very responsible. That was just for some clickbait there. And then we're like, what happened?
It happens. It happens. But thanfully enough, I've never been hurt really.
You never lost the. You
yeah,
still
no,
got
I
all
don't.
the
Yeah,
digits?
I've told people this, and I knock on wood whenever I say this, and I'm curious what your experiences are. But I've never been to the hospital for an animal ever in my entire life, and I've dealt with venomous snakes all around the world. I've crocodilians. I mean, giant lizard snakes.
Angry producers.
Yeah, angry. Yeah, that's like I said. People I've almost went to the hospital with, but yeah. So I mean, have you ever had any close calls, or is it?
I've never been to the hospital due to an animal issue myself. I've had other people around me been bit. Maybe been on shoots where three people have been bit.
Wow.
All on the hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One like a tiger. Oh, actually more than. I'm trying to think now. There's been a few bites, but most of them are on the hand. Most of them are to the feeders or someone handling bait.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a provoked attack. You're kind of like.
It's your fault.
Do you remember the do you know Nigel Marvin?
Yeah.
Nigel was down in
with Eric Ritter.
Yeah, when he got his calf bit off.
Yeah.
That was gnarly, man.
That was gnarly.
I talked to Nigel about that, because Nigel's a friend of ours, and he told me that he's like, yeah, we're just standing in knee deep water, all these little reef sharks, and all of a sudden.
Oh, but they weren't little reef sharks.
What were they?
They were bull sharks.
They were bull sharks.
And what I know the cameraman that was there that filmed that, and basically what happened, like most incidents, like I just told you, 3 or 4 people get bit on the hand, all bait related. So Nigel and Eric Ritter are standing. Eric just passed away, by the way, within the past 2 years. Or something.
Okay.
They're standing there, presenting to camera, talking about bull sharks. Ritter's explaining bull sharks are big predators.
Yeah.
They're unpredictable. You shouldn't mess with them in murky water. They're standing in murky water.
Yeah.
They're messing with big, unpredictable bull sharks. Somebody's throwing bait off camera, like always,
to get
always
them.
happens. Like you want to see sharks in the foreground. Like you're presenting. I want that snake in my face. So
Yeah.
it looks like Godzilla snake. Yeah, sorry about that. And so they're getting the sharks in the foreground, and like off camera, the bait's going in. They're getting riled up, but then a piece of bait somehow went. They're in the ocean, so there's a bit of current and drift and tails. The sharks are throwing water around. A piece of the bait drifts back and lands near his calf, and the bull shark goes for it, kind of engulfs the bait. But then it's already right there on his calf, so it takes his calf as well. And you can see it take 2 pronounced bites. Ooh. One initial bite, like gotcha, and then the like gaining purchase, like I'm gonna take a bite, and it did. It took
I like that term, gain of purchase.
Yeah. It took a pretty serious chunk. He survived, but a pretty
thankfully,
serious chunk.
Yeah.
Were you there when the jackass guy?
No, I was luckily. I'm not. Because a lot of people ask me that. Okay. I wasn't on the Jackass shoot. I get it why Discovery does certain types of programming.
Right.
They're getting different demographics of viewership.
This year
and whatnot.
seemed to be a lot of that. Yeah.
But I don't always agree. I mean, Jackass, they are known for not having any respect for anything. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's why they're funny
Yeah.
to some people, and I find some of their stuff funny. But I don't find it funny to like blatantly disrespect or disobey rules. And knowing, I mean, the only positive thing that I saw was the guy said he got bit and he deserved it, or what did you expect? You're playing with fire. But even that, wasn't necessarily positive enough to outweigh
Yeah, they did a lot of weird stuff
around.
this year. I thought.
Yeah, I remember we would talk about it every time we would see stuff pop up.
Yeah,
and be like,
and
can't
it
believe
wasn't
they're
like
doing that.
I just wondered like if shark people were like, wow, because I think Discovery kind of ebbs and flows, right? They go like a year or two where they do Megalodon, and then they get beat up, and then they go back. We're doing science, and then they go a few years doing science, and then they go. So this year it seemed like a lot of social influence. Obviously, you work with Mark Rober, which I think is super cool. Now he's a guy that I I think would have been super respectful, I'm sure.
Yeah, he was super smart. Obviously, crazy engineer. He wanted to learn more about the sharks in the deep, developing cool engineering things. Hold on, bud. Yeah. And there's quite a few. Like, I'm not against celebrities because I know a lot of people complain. Oh, I didn't like Shark Week. There's too many celebrities. I think celebrities bring a certain amount to Shark Week and viewership in their fan base. But I also think they could maybe tone it down. Maybe pick a handful of A-list celebrities. Yeah. Or one or two.
Like Shaq.
Yeah.
Like
Get Jason Momoa, whatever. Yeah. Get a few big headliners and then leave the rest for adventure science. The thing is, a lot of scientists don't like Shark Week. There's like not enough science. We get it. You do need science, but it's not Science Week. You need a good mix of adventure,
if it's not entertaining,
action.
you don't get ratings, then you don't have Shark Week. You know, so you have to have. That's what I tell them all the time. You know, like ratings are all that Discovery cares about, or any network, not just Discovery, any network. I mean,
Pretty
because
much.
if
That
they don't pay their
drives them.
bills, they don't have anything. What's up, buddy?
Tons of people in the chat are asking if they want to work here. People are wanting to work.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to make sure you get all the resumes, so you hire. Okay.
I'll just hire people.
Ace is actually. He's always. It's really cool. We go anywhere from a pizza to a toll booth to an airplane or an airport. He always wants to work there. Can I work for you?
That's actually awesome.
And he was upstairs. This is the first time I ever heard him say, "I will be the spa manager here," pointing to those fish.
Yeah, the fish spa. Yeah.
So these guys have a fish spa here.
Yeah,
where
we
you
got
put your
fish.
feet in.
And now we have a manager.
We have a fish spa manager.
Good.
I can be the co-manager. I'll be a co-manager.
Co-manager.
Look at him.
Noah, you're
sharing
gonna
the
have
role.
to do the other. You're gonna be the other co-manager. But
I'll just dip my feet in. That'll be my job.
what did Little Bogus have to say?
Yeah, you got it. Okay. Lil Bogus said,
That's okay.
no, you're good, dude. Lil Bogus said, hey, everyone, only shark experience was at 7. I caught a baby shark while deep sea fishing. I need to up my game and swim with some bigger fins.
Bigger fins.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I like a lot of people their experience with sharks. We actually one of the girls that came on one of my expeditions. All of my booking, my marketing for these expeditions just goes through Instagram basically.
Right. Yeah.
And I get a variety of people from bucket listers that are just adrenaline junkies that love great whites and want to bucket list, dive with them. And then there's a group that are really into the science and the research and they want to maybe become a marine biologist or just see the sharks because they're so fascinating.
Yeah.
Then there's the ones that are into the film and the interest in the YouTube and professional filmmaking and that whole like cameras and sharks and cinematography. And then there's a mix of all those together. But geez, there was a point to this.
I think where you were going.
It was the her only experience was
experience fishing.
Oh, and this girl's. So I never know who's at the beginning. Always like, why are you here? You're into the cameras, the sharks, a little bit of everything, and you just want to drink beer and shark dive.
Yeah.
Right.
So this girl says, I was bit by a shark as a child. I'm like, holy shit, you didn't put that in your application, shark.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I mean, I said I did. So I was like, wow, I had no idea. Like, so where's the bite? And she told, like, her dad had caught a shark. She got, it was on the dock. She got too close to it and it bit her on the arm. So I was like, wow, this is a little traumatic. And then I find out her roommate had never been underwater before. She got her first time putting her head underwater and she wanted to do it with great whites.
Oh my gosh.
Then
That's diving in, man.
A group of fiance asked his girlfriend to marry her. This was 2019. They're no longer together.
Oh gosh. Oh geez. Way to go.
Really, really cool people, but a variety of. We had this guy David Huff from Dancing with the Stars. He's like a dancer guy, but all these really interesting folks that have come out to see sharks, and you see their lives transform. Like snakes. Even when I made the King Cobra films, I was always concerned about getting too close. Yeah. Because I don't really know. I know how fast a shark can swim, and I've been in enough situations where I could guesstimate. Yeah. And then anticipate a shark's movements to keep myself safe enough. Yeah. But when I was getting close to these kings, I'm thinking, man, like its head's there, but its body is like
and it's
3 times longer. Can it like straight up bite me in the face right now?
And it's just like Jay knows, you know, it's different when you're looking through a lens too. Because your depth perception is completely different.
That was the
I can't
freakiest.
tell you how many people I've seen getting, you know, like the lens bit by a venomous snake because you just don't realize how close you are, and all of a sudden, bam!
When it starts looking amazing, you're like, oh,
that's exactly it. It draws you in, man.
You look up, you're like, holy. So I had a situation like that with Ron Whitaker. He had caught a wild spectacle cobra on his property at the Gumbe Research Station.
Yep.
And it was like in this little...
And this is in India, right?
In India, in this little clay embankment. And he's got it by the tail, and he's pulling on the tail, and I see it, and it's like a really cool shot because there's a long tail, and there's Rom there.
Yeah.
And I like put this was like tiny HDV days when high definition first hit the little mini DV tapes. And I like take the camera, and I'm filming Rom and the snake. Hold on, Ace, and I film it up the length of the body of the snake to Rom. It's a really cool foreground shot of him and the snake. And then Rom looks at me. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I look, and the cobra's head is right here by my exposed hand. Well, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? Like, where's the head? I didn't think because I quickly put it there and saw it on the screen, and it looked so cool. I'm like, wow.
You're just trying to get the shot. You're just trying to get the shot.
But his reaction is like, "You are a Darwin Award winner. What are you? How can you do that?" And I just didn't see it.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing though, right? Is like I feel the same way about snakes. Like I always can anticipate everything. Like I never worry about anything. As a matter of fact, I saw that footage of that tree boa biting at me. It's hilarious.
so hysterical, right?
It is like this tree boa.
So
I've got
funny.
a tree boa in this hand, and I'm looking at the camera, and every time it strikes, my hand's just moving away like this, and it's just barely.
He's
and
not even watching it.
I'm just like. It's just like coming within like this close to just bite. Again, it's a non-venomous snake or anything like that, but is that tomorrow? Or,
yeah,
I think
so.
tomorrow's vlog.
Yeah.
But anyways,
it's just funny to realize
like
how you
with,
react.
Yeah, it's just like you with sharks. I feel the same way. I feel weird about sharks. Like I get in, I'd be like, "What the hell is this fish doing?"
Well, pretty quickly you start to develop that respect, and you may already have it, but you pretty quickly, I guess you still. How am I trying to explain it? I've spent a lot of time with sharks, but you still, when you push it, you can get bit. You can get.
Now, do you feel that way? Because I am a guy that does push it, unfortunately. I mean, like when I'm in the situation, I always feel like I'm safe.
Yeah.
So I push it to the edge of safety because I always feel like I'm in control.
I see what you mean.
But I mean, do you do that, or are you a pretty cautious guy?
I'm usually pushing it, but I don't always feel that I'm in control. So like, especially with the great whites, I actually had one coming up to the cages on one of my last trips, and you're not allowed to do this. They tell you not to do it before all the dives. You're not allowed to touch the sharks.
Okay, so
But this shark was coming right in at the cages, and we've seen sometimes if you do push them away, you avoid them like getting like awkwardly tangled up a little bit with the cage. But also, anyway, I put my hand out, touched it. The thing opened its mouth way faster than I anticipated. So one of my clients was filming. I was filming with a GoPro too. But you see, like literally in like 2 frames, it goes from like mouth closed to like completely open to my hand just to the side of it.
Man,
I went like this, and then the mouth open, and all I could do is turn my hand like this to avoid it going like that. And I was like, "Holy shit, that's what."
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, they're serious.
Go ahead, buddy.
Guys, did you
What's up,
know
Ace?
that you have 108 likes and only 1 dislike?
Who disliked?
All right, who disliked that?
Who is it?
It's that person that watched Jaws when they were a kid.
I hate
You know what? You know what's really crazy? Lori knows this. You know my favorite movie is Jaws. I hate to tell you
Are you
this.
serious?
And that's what got me to love sharks.
Wow.
I mean, I love.
This is a great story.
Yeah, when I saw Jaws, I fell in love with sharks. I literally fell in love with them from that day on.
Wow.
And still to this
You're
day.
like, hey, an animal that kills and targets humans. This is
Yeah,
good.
I mean,
Heroes.
obviously, as I got older, I realized it was
Do me a
terrible.
favor. Run over there and grab me one of those drinks, would you?
Oh yeah, please.
I want you to
Which
give
one you
me
want?
One with,
I got-
one
What's the
of
top can there?
That's
We
a
got-
peach beer.
Which
Peach
one?
beer.
Yeah, why not?
There's
Wanna
a
try
peach
peach
beer.
beer?
There's a couple Oktoberfest. There's an Italian beer.
Let
There's,
me
there's
an orange beer.
White Claw.
This is
There's a mead in
just
there.
grab me whichever one you think would be good, Ace.
yeah, you choose.
He's just good.
He's got to be double fisted when he comes out of there.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah,
good.
that's a good one.
It's like an October or
Does
something.
that need a cap?
No, that's
opener?
perfect.
It does. It's right
Opener's
there.
right there on the table too. So Ace,
Ace,
can you
just
grab
bring me that
that?
opener.
Look
Sorry,
at that.
guys.
Perfect.
No,
I
you're
had
good.
to do an intermission here, a little.
And this is why you have kids.
Little
Yeah,
break.
exactly.
Oh, holy cow!
Thank you.
Go get
Thank
a
you.
root beer, guys.
Okay, thanks.
Where's he getting a root beer from?
I don't know.
The gas station.
If he's not back in 2 minutes, I'll go get him again.
It'll keep him busy. He'll be out there banging on that
I literally was like, no way, this kid's gonna be stuck out there. So luckily, it's all good though.
But no, but the truth is, honestly, I don't know. For some reason, it just I was mesmerized by sharks. At that
because
point.
of Jaws.
Because of Jaws, yeah.
When were you born?
69. So
69,
when did it
okay.
come out? 76, maybe 75.
75. I was born in
75.
'77.
So yeah, so I literally saw it at the movie theater. By the way,
Oh, that
with
had
my
been
mom
so
What?
at
good.
6 years old.
Oh,
my mom
wow.
was a great mom. She was a really
Bro.
great mom. Yeah, I
That
also
is
saw Amityville Horror within a year or two
freaking
of that too.
historic.
Yeah. So, but I fell in love with it. I loved it. I wasn't afraid at all, like through the whole movie.
Yeah, you're there eating Milk Duds and popcorn.
Yeah.
like-
And still to this day, you know, and anyone asks me what's your favorite movie, I always say Jaws.
That's one of
Yeah.
my favorites.
Yeah, it's always
too.
just because I don't know, man. I fell in love
a
with
great
sharks
movie.
at that point.
They filmed it
It's
well.
it's like I wonder. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure. I know I've heard lots of shark scientists say that for 20 years it destroyed everything that they tried to build because of that one movie. So I'm sure it did more damage than it did good. But there is at least one person out there that fell in love with sharks because of it. So there you go.
I'm writing it down to buy it because we didn't have it on my. We watch movies on these expeditions too, and sometimes we'll watch like Deadpool or something other than sharks because
Yeah.
people get saturated.
That's the best.
It's you watched it on the airplane.
He's watching Deadpool, and his mom looks over like, "What are you watching?" He's like, "Deadpool." It's like, you can't watch that.
And I'm just like, I'm a kid that acts like a teenager.
Yeah, so we took him to
okay?
see. We took him to see. What's the other one with Ryan Reynolds? Just came out.
Free Guys.
Free Guy.
That was
Yeah.
a good one. That was a
Pretty
good one.
funny.
You guys
That was a
watch
good.
Free Guy?
Yeah.
We went.
I have, but it's like awesome. Just sometimes it does swear words, but I don't care.
Good. I'm glad.
Right. As long as you
Glad
don't
to
care.
know.
Watch
Here you go.
Free Guy right now. Look at the chat.
It's fun.
Look at the chat. Do it up. But so what was the movie you wrote down?
Oh,
Jaws.
two Jaws, Blue Water, White Death, and Jaws. So if
Blue
you
Water,
like,
White Death.
if you like, I need to actually buy a physical like DVD and get an MP4 or something because everywhere I go, if I buy it on iTunes or I try to play it on a different screen or on these boats, it never works. But Blue Water, White Death was one of the very first, if not the first, great white shark documentary where they go around to South Africa, they go to the Indian, all over the place to try to film in South Australia. And it's an incredible, like, old school documentary.
Really?
With, and it's really hilarious, too. The narrator's great. It's, like, so old school that it's kind of funny,
Right.
but in a good way. But
That's
these
good.
guys really push it and do amazing stuff with all types of sharks. It's really
That's
cool.
actually, I'll have to check that. Make
Yeah.
sure I get that before you leave
Blue
because
water.
Blue water,
White Death.
White Death.
It's
I'll
kind
have to
of
check that. Yeah, I get
I
that.
don't
sense,
want
yeah.
to leave this place. This place is awesome. Guys, if you want to work here, just come over here. It's awesome.
Oh,
Just come on over.
Lori loved that.
Yeah,
Just come on over.
Come hang out.
You'll have a bunch of kids banging on the door trying to get in.
Yeah, no, I love it.
It's
open.
No, you're good.
Down because I just watch Free Guy after this.
Free Guy is a good one. I definitely recommend Free Guy. Let's hit a couple more supers. and we gotta get out of here. Get ready for the SpaceX. Man.
Wyatt says, I'm trying to book a tour with you. How can I do that?
Just call the Reptarium.com.
Boom.
Or don't call the Reptarium.com. Just call the Reptarium. You can go to Reptarium.com, get the phone number. Ashley takes care of it. She's fantastic, and she will get you hooked up.
Daniel asks, did you see any sea snakes? I think you said that already, and then said, bring Coyote Peterson.
Oh, that would be sweet. Go diving with Coyote.
Coyote?
I bet you, Coyote. Ironically enough, we talked about him a little bit. He's been doing some diving lately. You know, he actually even put out a series like about a year ago that was called like Blue Water or something like that.
Blue Water,
White Death.
Yeah, Blue Water, White Death.
We heard about that. I heard that's a really good doc.
Coyote, I really like the title there.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Boom, catchy, you know?
But yeah, so he probably love to go out with you for sure. I mean, he's a good dude.
No,
too,
but
man.
like I never get a call from guys like that because they want to get bit by these animals.
I
These are
don't think
great
he.
whites.
So weird. The weird thing about him, you know, is that it is unfortunate. So this is the plus and minus of what he's done, right?
Yeah.
The plus is that him getting bitten by the things that he's gotten bitten by have made him hugely successful. But the truth is like probably 19 out of 20 videos he does is completely educational without bites.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like it's a tough thing as a YouTuber / social guy, almost like you were talking about with Discovery with Shark Week, right? Is that you have this like you got to hook them in.
Right.
Yep.
And then educate them.
Yeah.
And actually the vast majority of his things are very educational, very conservation based. He's actually really good. But his stings and bites have what got him all the following that he has.
I was just watching one of his videos today, and he did a whole educational piece, and he said, all right, you've been educated. Now it's time to entertain you. And then he started handling the spider.
It's gonna bite me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna bite me. But
that's cool.
But I like, and he, we know him obviously. We were, he had a show on Animal Planet last year, and we were at the premiere to the show and everything with him. And he's actually a really good guy, and he's got a great heart. But his stick was to get bit. And
it worked.
And it worked. I mean, now he's got I think he went over like 1.5 billion views on YouTube. So
and he's getting more eyes on him than all Discovery
Guys,
Channel, Animal Planet, everybody.
So later, we could like talk about some facts about like the whale. The one that we talked about earlier, the one that had like
the whale sharks.
The ones that
they have the teeth
under
their
eyes and
More facts?
Yeah.
Okay, more.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
so we
get
can do that, and then later then at the end
Then
of
later
the
we
video,
can all
let's
get bit by a
read
shark.
Comments. And also, guys, if you know what a Demogorgon is from Stranger Things, you have to be like 13 or 14, I would say, to watch it. So
We had to Google that. He's like, Dad, can I watch Stranger Things?
It's a great
So
one.
I
It's a great
Googled, what child ratings?
Yeah.
And it said, I think MV 14 or something.
Really?
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of surprised. I'm
We
a
can
bad
watch it
character.
over-
Yeah.
I'm a bad character. I went to Jaws when I was 6. I mean, I had a bad
And you
uprising.
pass it along.
Yeah, and I've
to
done
me.
the same thing with him. Yes.
I worked with this guy from Stranger Things, one of the main actors, Noah Schnapp.
Oh, yeah.
He gets like abducted in the first episode.
Yeah.
But I had no idea who he was, and like we took him shark diving for the first time, and he said it was the scariest thing he ever did. And then
Really?
Wow.
after I worked with him, went home and watched Stranger Things. I'm like, bro, there's some scary things.
Yeah, but he probably didn't see any of them because it's all like green screen.
CGI,
phone number for that we can go on the Stranger Things cast and actually be in the movie Stranger Things.
We can look
Yeah,
into it.
yeah. Check if you reach out to him. Now, do you ever stay in touch with the people after you work with them, or is it kind of like?
Quite a few actually.
Oh, good.
Yeah. A lot of the not with Shaq or anything,
Right.
but with Phelps for quite some time.
Oh, no
now.
kidding!
Yeah.
Michael
That's awesome.
Phelps.
He's a
I remember
really-
that was a weird one though, right? Because it was like he was going to outswim the shark or something like that. That was a little bit.
But the thing is, it's funny. We had shot a show. I guess the Discovery Channel executive, the CEO David Zaslav, he said something like, Michael Phelps. We're getting Michael Phelps on Shark Week, and he's gonna race a great white shark.
Yeah.
But somehow nobody got the memo, and they hired Michael Phelps and took him to the Bahamas. Then did a show called Shark School with Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
It was like tigers and lemons and
Yeah.
everything but great whites. And they cut the show, and it's about to go to Shark Week, and David Zaslav's like, where's the great whites? They're like, we did the show in the Bahamas. You saw all the creative. He's like, I don't read that stuff. They made him go and do another show with Phelps just because Zaslav basically said he was going to race a great white. They had to do a show where he was going to race a great white.
Yeah, it's not
No
like
one was
Discovery's ever lied before, like
like
man-eating snake
or mermaids or
Oh yeah,
man-eating-
what about that thing? Because I
Yeah.
remember it was getting to the point where people were submitting to Shark Week ideas of being in a seal costume, getting towed behind the boat to get
Oh my God.
breached on, but it was going to be a specialized seal costume to protect the person. But
No.
I feel like some of our viewers have.
it would really f up the shark, to be honest, if you
Yeah,
built
yeah.
something out of like
Yeah,
titanium and
titanium.
you tow
Yeah,
it.
but yeah.
Yeah.
But that was right around the time when that dude was like,
Yeah,
gonna
that
get
Paul something or other.
eaten. So
Yeah, he
whatever
was a-
happened, that was obviously a big
It was just
stunt.
it was a huge stunt that as a matter of fact, the president of Discovery got fired because of that show.
Really?
At the time, yeah, he got fired because it was such a the problem wasn't so much like the problem was it was called Eaten Alive, and the problem is that not so much even that what they clickbaited like the Michael Phelps thing, which is fine. The problem is like he went on like shows basically almost saying he did get eaten before the premiere. They would be like, so what was it like to be eaten? He's like, oh, it was one of the most horrifying experiences of my life and stuff like that. And then it premiered, and the snake literally, they had to pour like pig blood on his like snake suit, whatever. And the snake like literally like opened its mouth on its head. And then it had a big old helmet. The snake could never eat it, you know? And he literally just like went like this for 1 second. And then, you know, my buddy was the herpetologist on the shoot. So they like literally wrapped the snake around him. It didn't even constrict him. They wrapped it around him. And then he said it was hurting his arm so much he called it. He was like, I can't do it anymore, you know, stuff like that. So the whole thing was fake, so much so that literally the GM got fired for it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool. And also,
Yeah, cool story, bro. He pulled
into
a Savannah.
well, actually, it was really cool. And so, am I allowed to give the fans I'm gonna try giving the people like a tour of the place.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have any cameras to do it. They're fixed to the walls.
Yeah, you see those things right there?
Yeah, so
I
they
got a
can't.
good idea.
Listen, what we could do.
I could just record the video on my computer. Then I could just copy
How about
it and
this?
then paste it in chat.
We're here tomorrow too. We're gonna
Yeah, we're
we'll
gonna
shoot
film
a
some
video.
stuff. We'll shoot
I
some
can
stuff.
just
And you
easily
can
do
post. You can do whatever you want. But that's my
out.
son.
He's
Bye.
gone. He's gone, man.
Yeah,
He's
bud.
gone. All right, what we got? Let's hit a couple.
Yeah.
So we got to get out of here pretty quick here.
Silver Cash says, I'll catch up after work. Hopefully I can make another visit soon. Have an awesome night.
Yeah, I
Oh,
hope so
dude,
too. Silver
for sure.
Cash.
So Noah, what the heck did I do?
Yeah, Noah, what did she do?
Come on, what did Letros?
Let roses burn. I like
burn.
Letros. I like it.
What did she do?
I actually don't know. I read this a few minutes ago, and I have no clue. I genuinely have no clue.
What did she
He's
do?
lying.
So
He's
she's the one that
sorry.
made the little Brian statue here.
Oh yeah, she made this. right
And she even made two. I've got two shirts too.
Oh my
Got
God.
two different
it's
shirts.
so
and those are
good.
Reptile Army. So we have our gear is Reptile
sells
Army,
these.
and so she made replicas
Yeah.
of that. And and you're going to be able to feed that alligator tomorrow. It's
dog.
actually lost a leg so it's a 3-legged alligator,
Only has
and
3 legs, too.
Tripod.
it's
Yeah.
tripod exactly,
Wow.
and so you'll get a chance to feed that tomorrow.
But she hasn't been around for a while.
Yeah, so I'm not
maybe
sure.
I don't
You didn't
know.
do anything. We love you. Let
Yeah, we
Roses
love
Burn.
you. Jose says, hi, everyone. Have a great rest of your day
What's
or
up,
night.
Jose?
You too. Thank you, Jose.
Thank you.
Let's see what else we got. Nick came back and says, Andy, what was your most sketchy shark dive? Was it really one in New Zealand at night with Kenna? Have you seen the brothers from Isle of Jaws in a while?
Oh wow, this one's a super fan.
This guy knows you, man.
Yeah. What up, bro? What was it? What was their name again?
So, Nick.
Nick.
Yeah.
Nick. What's it? You're not the Nick that was just with me in Mexico, right? Nope.
Maybe.
Nick Trimble.
Nick Trimble.
That was really a sketchy dive. It was in New Zealand, down at like 75 feet in the dark. Gray whites usually at nighttime are hard to activate. They're hard to get interested. They're not. They really don't in South Africa, in Mexico, even in Australia. Oh, actually, Australia they were activated. New Zealand, Australia, they at nighttime they are fierce. Like
Really?
I don't know if it's a deer in the headlights thing or they're remember I was just talking about the polar bear thing attracted the lights. At nighttime, the white sharks kept smashing into the cages to the point where we usually have the cages completely open so we have free reign to pan and tilt and not be fettered by any cage structure, just to have our backs covered. But there it was that was the sketchiest dive of my life.
Really?
And it was still in the cage, and we're trying to go back and not replicate, but film white sharks hunting there in the dark.
Okay.
So,
Oh, that sounds safe.
That's fun.
yeah.
And
we're
then
gonna-
what was you were something else?
And then it says, have you seen the brothers from
And
Isle
I
of Jaws in a while?
haven't been back to the Isle of Jaws in like 2 or 3 years now. And it's I need to get back there.
Nice.
So hopefully you're a billionaire. You can fund it. We don't want to do it
Yeah.
for Shark Week. Let's do
Yeah,
it for your new channel.
Yeah, the
What was your name
YouTube
again?
channel. Nick.
Nick Trimble.
Nick, let's do it. Send it up, baby.
Trimble Media Networks.
There we
Exactly.
go.
There we go.
It's like that. Sold.
Yeah, Discovery Communications. You're gone. You're going down.
Actually, did you know that Discovery? It has to be public knowledge. Discovery and Warner, Time Warner. Is it Time Warner?
Time
no,
Warner, yeah.
Warner Bros.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
They have bought Discovery Communications.
Really?
Is that even?
I don't even know if that's
effing
public. I don't
possible?
even know. Yeah, that's another one of those things that probably has to go in front of the the FCC or something like that to see if it's able to be done because of monopoly
And then
stuff like
Elon
that.
steps in with a
That
tweet,
Elon- yeah.
throws
Right.
everything on.
But
Yeah, it's like Dogecoin.
Dogecoin goes through the roof. We need to get Gator Coin up there, Ace Coin, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Shark coin.
I looked at Shark Coin and I missed it. Someone else did. Now there's Baby Shark Coin. And
Smart.
But there's no
crap.
Great White Shark Coin. I'm taking it. Nobody
Let's
take
go.
it.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
You
it's
can't
done.
say it
It's gone.
live.
It's done
Yeah, it's
now.
Gotta keep that in
it's
the
over.
mind, because now someone's going to buy
Someone's
it.
gonna sell it to you.
Dang
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Simple Man says, "Hope you're all having a great night."
You
Thank you
Simple
so
Man.
much,
Thank you,
Simple Man.
And Wyatt says, "Love you guys. Thank you so much for being here."
Thank you for being
Wyatt's
here.
coming
Okay,
this
so this is
weekend, I think.
literally.
Oh, she goes, "Noah, you literally called me out on the vlog today and said you had a bone to pick with me, roses."
What was it?
Oh,
I think I was singing
now
a
you
song.
remember.
On the vlog.
Wait, on your vlog?
I didn't post a vlog today.
It was on my vlog.
Was it on your vlog?
I know you did a piece on the vlog today. I can't remember what
Hey,
it was. And I
what's
don't
that?
I was
remember.
singing to
Let
Mac
roses
I thought it was the
burn,
pendulum
smoke it
thing,
over
was
there.
it?
Yeah, I don't.
Was
I
it the
don't know.
was it the ghost story thing?
I don't know. We didn't film that. We didn't post that though.
I don't know.
We just filmed it. But I was singing a song. She said we had a bone to pick like roses. That's like that's a verse in a song.
Okay.
Oh,
from
so it
Mac
wasn't "Let
Miller.
Roses Burn." It was
No.
just
Roses
roses.
really
I think it
smell
was
like
just
poo-poo.
Ah, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Lost
Ah,
in translation.
yeah,
Yeah.
but we got $20 from her for that.
Well, thank you, Roses Burn.
Thank you.
Well, we love you.
We
Rose.
appreciate you. We appreciate
That's all I
you.
got,
So,
man.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Well, hey, Andy, it's been great, man. Thank you so much. We're gonna have a lot of fun tonight and tomorrow.
Tomorrow's gonna be
Yeah.
So,
No
um,
sleep.
So yeah. So
My first time in Detroit, man. I got my son here. No moms, no
Yeah.
dads. I get
Yeah.
something to dad.
oh yeah. Oh, Mama Thompson.
Lisa-
here, by
Mama
the way.
Tomsky says, "ABC, your son is great, and he reminds me of Jay."
This is that Jay. This
That's
is
me.
Jay talking.
Nice.
That's
and
Mama.
Jay made me a fan.
Jay
so.
saved his life. He was out there on the streets
Struggling.
of Detroit.
Yeah, that ain't a good place to be, man.
They about to be
Facts.
affected. Oh my god! So that's great. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Again, guys, I will put all the links in the description. You'll get a chance to see these guys in the vlog. Go show Ace some love. Go subscribe to his channel for me, please. And yeah, let's get out of here. What do you think, man?
Thank you guys so much for watching. We've been checked in, and we are checking out.
See you guys. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Peace. That was awesome.
That's hot. That was fun.
I
Good
did
times.
get the tour, but
Ace, you're great.